Shall we pray? Almighty God, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor and blessings as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to leadership positions in this republic. We seek guidance to treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. Clerk, do we have quorum? Sergeant at Arms, you may ring the quorum bell for 10 minutes.
So the prayer has been said and the chair taken. However, there is a quorum hitch, and the Speaker has directed that the quorum bell be rung for 10 minutes to give room to members of the Senate to be able to make their way into the chamber. Remember, this is a Thursday afternoon, and in the morning hours, the members of the Senate were also committed in undertaking other Senate business, that is the committee business. That is the committee business. And of course, they are now getting ready to be able to get into the chamber to also transact the business over the plenary sitting. So this afternoon, as we wait for the quorum to be attained, we shall take a glimpse at some of the priority business that the Senate taking in this afternoon's plenary sitting, and it's that there are changes that the Senate Business Committee has made regarding the constitution of select committees of the Senate. These select committees include the Standing Committee, Livestock and Fisheries. The Senator for Nairobi County shall be replacing the nominated Senator Honorable Beatrice Ogola in this committee, that is the Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries. Also, the Standing Committee on Energy has also been affected. The nominated Senator Beatrice Ogola shall be replacing the Senator for Homa Bay County, Honorable Moses Kajwang. The Standing Committee on Health has also received some changes in its membership. The Committee on Information, Communication and Technology, the Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity and Regional Integration, the Standing Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing, and also the Standing Committee on Trade, Industrialization and Tourism. These are changes that have been effected by the Senate Business Committee and will be communicated to the House this afternoon. Of course, once the Senate leader of the majority moves the notice of motion, and then it will follow the motion that the members shall be given this particular information. Changes have also been effected on watchdog committees, including the County Public Accounts Committee, as well as the County Public Investments and Special Funds Committees. This is pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 193. Well, the quorum has been attained. Allow me to hand you over.
Senator Wambua, take your seat. Now, clerk, you may call the first order.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Senate Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following papers of the Senate today, Thursday, 30th July 2026. Edition of biannual report on the status of alcohol and drug abuse control in Kenya by the National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse, NACADA. I beg to lay.
Senator Moses Kajwang. Senator Moses Kajwang has got a paper to lay. Senator Faki, I am informed you're doing on behalf of Senator Kajwang.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Senate today, Thursday, 30th of July, 2026. Report of the Regional Seminar, African Parliaments for Climate Action on Reducing Methane, Promoting Development, held at Emara Ole Sereni Hotel, Nairobi, Kenya, from the 14th to the 18th of May, 2026. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Next one.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Senate Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of the following motion that notwithstanding the resolution of the Senate on 12 February 2025, 2nd December 2025, and 17 June 2026 on the approval of senators to serve in various select committees of the Senate, A, pursuant to Standing Order 197, 199, 228, and 4th schedule of the Standing Orders, the Senate approves the following senators nominated by the Senate Business to serve in the standing committees of the Senate as follows. 1. Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries, Senator Edin Sifuna, CBS MP, to replace Senator Beatrice Ogola, MP. 2. Standing Committee on Energy, Senator Beatrice Ogola, MP, to replace Senator Moses Kajwang, CBS MP. 3. Standing Committee on Health, Senator Shakila Abdallah Mohammed, MP, to replace Senator Joseph Githuku, MP. 4. Standing Committee on Information, Communication and Technology, Senator Moses Kajwang, CBS MP, and Senator Beatrice Ogola, MP, to replace Senator Shakila Abdallah Mohammed, MP, and Senator Esena Lemaletian, MP. 5. The Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunities, Regional Integration, Senator Godfrey Otsotsi, CBS MP, to replace Senator Bietsiengo, MP. 6. Standing Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing, Senator Hamida Kibwana, MP, to replace Senator Crystal Asige, MP. And finally, Standing Committee on Trade, Industrialization and Tourism, Senator Enoch Wambua, CBS MP, to replace Senator Hamida Ali Kibwana MP.
Next is Senator Moses Kajwang.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of the following motion: that the Senate notes the report of the regional seminar, African Parliaments for Climate Action on Reducing Methane, Promoting Development, held at Emara Ole Sereni Hotel, Nairobi, Kenya, from 14th to 18th May 2026, laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday, 30th July 2026. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next on.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Several statements and standing order 53-1. We start with the Senator for Nairobi City County. But I saw Senator Sifuna here just 1 minute ago. Okay, Senator Esio Kenyuri. Those two statements are dropped. Senator Agnes Kavidu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to read my statement on irregularities in the payroll of the county government of Machakos. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of Labor and Social Welfare on a matter of countrywide concerns regarding irregularities identified in the payroll of the county government of Machakos. Mr. Speaker, sir, an audit of the county government's payroll covering the period of from 1st January 2016 to 30th September 2021 revealed several anomalies, including duplicate employee records, shared bank accounts, irregularity payment on salaries and allowances, and officers drawing salaries from both the national and county governments. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the progress of investigations into the anomalies identified in the audit, the number of officers implicated, and the total amount of funds irregularly paid. 2, the administrative, disciplinary, or criminal measures taken against officers involved in those responsible for unauthorized alteration of payroll records. 3, the amount of money recovered from irregular duplicate of unsupported payments and the strategies of recovery outstanding amounts of the outstanding amounts. 4, the extent of implementation of audit recommendations, including regular payroll cleaning, monthly audit, and strengthened access control, including timelines for involving all outstanding cases identified in the audit measures to prevent recurrences. Senator Agnes Kavindu Mudhama, MP, Machakos County. Mr. Speaker, I have two statements. Can I read the other one? Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have another statement on the rising cases of brutal killings and discovery of mutilated bodies in Machakos County. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 52-1 to make a statement on a matter of countrywide concerns regarding the rising cases of brutal killings and discovery of mutilated bodies in Machakos County. Mr. Speaker, sir, the recent months, Machakos County has witnessed a disturbing increase of incidents involving the brutal murder of persons, mutilated of their bodies, and abandoned of their remains in isolated locations. These heinous acts have instilled fear among residents, undermined public confidence in the security agencies, and raised serious concerns about the prevalence of violence crimes in the country. Article 26 of the Constitution guarantees every person the right to life, while Article 28-29 guarantees the rights to human dignity and security of the person, respectively. The continued occurrences of the killings is therefore a grave violation of these constitutional rights and calls for urgent and decisive interventions by the relevant security agencies. Mr. Speaker, the latest incident occurred on the 17th of July 2026 when mutilated human remains were discovered near Mukengesia River in Mukengesia Village, Kithioko Sub-County, Masinga, Kithioko Sub-Location, Masinga Sub-County. The remains were recovered by officers from the National Police Service and Directorate of Criminal Investigations and transferred to the Machakos Level 5 Hospital mortuary for identification and post-mortem examination. This incident has highlighted anxiety among residents and reinforced concerns concerning the apparent rise in brutal killings and the dumping of human remains in different parts of this country. Mr. Speaker, sir, I strongly condemn these barbaric acts which have no place in the society founded on the rule of law and respect for human life and dignity. I call upon the Inspector General of Police, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, and other relevant government agencies to expedite investigations into those incidences, identify and prosecute the perpetrators, and strengthen security and surveillance measures to prevent further loss of lives. I further urge members of the public to remain vigilant and cooperate with the security agencies by providing any information that may assist in identifying the victims and bringing those responsible to justice. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senator Agnes Kavindu Mudhama, the Senator, Machakos County.
Senator James Murango. Of two statements, you can read them simultaneously.
Tulia. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
No, actually, it is one. The other one is Joe Newt. Sorry.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on a matter of county-wide concern regarding stored development projects undertaken by the county government of Kirinyaga since 2013. Mr. Speaker, sir, despite significant expenditure of public funds, numerous projects remain incomplete or abandoned in Kirinyaga County, thereby denying residents access to essential services and raising concerns about accountability, prudent resource use, and compliance with constitutional principles of public finance as provided for under Article 201. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, a full account of all stalled or incomplete projects undertaken by the county government of Kirinyaga between April 2013 and June 2026, specifying their location, implementing department or entity, contractor, contract sum, amount paid, percentage of works completed and estimated cost of completion. 2, the reasons for the delay or stalling, indicating the contractors, officers or entities responsible for delays or abandonment. 3, measures undertaken to recover public funds lost through abandoned projects, incomplete works, breach of contract or poor workmanship, and actions against culpable contractors or public officers. 4, steps by the county government to complete and operationalize stored projects, including funding arrangements, timelines, and safeguards to prevent recurrence. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, the legal policy the legal policy and administrative measures in place to ensure that county governments give priority to the completion of ongoing projects and prevent the accumulation of stored projects. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Joe Newt.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, I raise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Lands, Environment and Natural Resources on an issue of national concern regarding the ongoing tree harvesting activities within the Aberdare Forest ecosystem. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Aberdare Forest, one of Kenya's vital water towers, provides critical ecological services and supports millions of livelihoods. However, extensive harvesting along the Mangu, Kamai, and Gatanga-Jabine corridors, including reports of non-mature trees being felled, raises grave concerns about sustainability, compliance with Forest Conservation and Management Act 2016, and the absence of visible reforestation efforts. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, a comprehensive report on recent activities, including specific locations, acreage, volume of timber, and the criteria used by the Kenya Forest Service to justify harvesting of non-mature trees. 2, details of all the companies, contractors, or license holders authorized to harvest and the specific conditions attached to these authorizations. 3, immediate reforestation measures, seedling species and quantities and timelines, as well as monitoring mechanisms to ensure prompt restoration and prevent long-term degradation. And 4, measures by the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry and the Kenya Forest Service to enforce sustainable practices and full adherence to the Forest Conservation and Management Act 2016. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Professor Tom Ojenda. That statement is dropped. Senator Mohamed Chute.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I'm requesting for a statement on the inclusion of the Uran-Goda Lataka section of the ongoing construction of the Sololo Anona Golole Uran-Goda Road. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the exclusion of approximately 4-kilometer Uran-Goda Lataka section from the ongoing construction of the Sololo Anona Galole Road, Sololo sub-county of Marsabit County. In the statement, Honorable Speaker, the committee should address the following. Number 1, the reason and criteria that inform the exclusion of the 4-kilometer Uran-Goda Lataka section from the ongoing construction works in Sololo. Number 2, the budgetary, contractual, technical, or planning consideration behind the exclusion. And number 2, the estimate cost of construction and whether there are plans to revise the project scope to include that section. Number 3, Honorable Speaker, measures by the Ministry of Roads and Transport and the relevant road agencies to ensure construction of that section, including expected commencement and completion timelines. Honorable Speaker, finally, the broader safeguards in place to prevent similar exclusion in future road projects and to guarantee equitable infrastructure development across all regions. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Lelegwe. Lutubesi.
Request for a statement on the employee status of long-serving casual employees of the county government of Samburu and implementation of the recommendations in the special audit report of the Auditor General on payroll management for the County Executive of Samburu 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Labour and Social Welfare on the matter of county-wide concern regarding continued engagement of casual employees by the county government of Samburu for prolonged periods exceeding 3 years without confirmation to permanent and pensionable terms, and implementation status of recommendations contained in the special audit report of the Auditor General on the payroll management for the County Executive of Samburu 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, pursuant to Article 41 of the Constitution guarantees every worker the right to fair labor practices, while Article 232 enshrines the values and principles of public service, including accountability, transparency, professionality, opportunities in employment. The Employment Act 2017 further safeguards workers against indefinite engagement on casual terms where the nature and duration of service amount to continuous employment. Despite these provisions and statutory protections, numerous employees within the county government of Samburu have continuously served for periods exceeding 3 years and in some cases considerably longer while performing duties that are permanent, recurrent, and essential to the delivery of public services, yet they remain trapped in employment uncertainty, deprived of job security, pension rights, medical benefits, career progression, and other protections accorded to officers serving on permanent and pensionable terms. The prolonged failure to regularize the employment status of these workers has subjected them and their families to significant psychological, emotional, social, economic hardships. Many have dedicated years of service to the county government while living under constant uncertainty regarding their future, despite faithfully discharging responsibilities critical to the functioning of the county government. Mr. Speaker, sir, the matter is compounded by the findings and recommendations contained in the Special Audit Report of the Auditor General on Payroll Management for the County Executive of Samburu 2025, which highlighted concerns relating to payroll management, human resource compliance, staffing establishment, recruitment practices, employees' records management, and adherence to applicable public service laws and regulations. These findings raise serious concerns regarding human resource governance and accountability within the county government and necessitate urgent corrective action. In the statement, the committee should address the following: the exact number of casual employees currently serving the county government of Samburu who have continuously served or worked for a period exceeding 3 years, indicating their respective departments, job designation, dates of engagement, remuneration, and reasons for continued failure to regularize their employment status in accordance with the Constitution, the Employment Act 2007, and applicable public service laws and regulations. 2, the status of implementation of the recommendations contained in the Special Audit Report and the Special Audit Report of the Auditor General on Payroll Management for the County Executive of Samburu 2025, particularly relating to payroll management, human resource compliance, staffing establishment, employee records management, recruitment procedures, staff, and compliance with applicable laws governing public service employment. 3, whether the county government has developed a policy framework or implementation plan for the absorption and confirmation of eligible long-serving casual employees into permanent and pensionable terms. So, provide the timelines, eligibility criteria, budgetary allocations, and administrative measures put in place to undertake the exercise. 4, measures being taken to address the adverse psychological, emotional, social, and economic effects occasioned by the prolonged casual employment, including the denial of job security, pension benefits, medical cover, career progression opportunities, and other employment rights guaranteed under the Constitution and labor laws. Finally, 5, the total number of officers identified in the Special Audit Report as requiring regularization, payroll clearing, corrective administrative action, or compliance interventions, the progress made in implementing the audit recommendations, and the timelines within which the county government intends to fully implement the recommendations and conclusively resolve the plight of affected employees. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mazayo, Minority Leader. Senator Wakoli.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Request for statement on the exclusion of health administrative officers from the payment of extraneous and risk allowances. Mr. Speaker, sir, as pursuant to Standing Order 53.1, to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on a matter of national concern regarding the exclusion of health administrative officers working in public health facilities from receiving extraneous and risk allowances. Mr. Speaker, sir, despite serving within healthcare environments and being exposed to occupational risks comparable to other cadres, these officers remain excluded from payment of the said allowances, raising concerns of fairness, equity, and compliance with constitutional labor rights. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1. The policy, legal, and administrative basis for excluding health administrative officers working in public health facilities from the payment of extraneous and risk allowances. 2. The cadres of healthcare workers currently eligible for the allowances and the criteria used to determine their eligibility. 3. The findings of any occupational risk assessment conducted in respect of health administrative officers and the justification for the exclusion despite working in the same facilities and being exposed to risks comparable to those faced by other healthcare workers. 4. The status and findings of any review undertaken by the Ministry of Health, the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, SRC, the county governments regarding the exclusion of health administrative officers in the payment of the allowances. And finally, 5, the measures being taken to harmonize the payment of extraneous and risk allowances across eligible healthcare personnel, including plans and timelines for reviewing the existing policy framework to ensure equitable compensation. Senator David Wakoli MP, Senator for Bungoma County. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Professor Tom Ojenda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a statement under Standing Order 53 on the rising number of unemployed university and college graduates in Kisumu County. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the increasing number of university and college graduates entering the labor market in Kisumu County without corresponding employment opportunities. Mr. Speaker, sir, while access to higher education has expanded, many graduates face limited prospects for jobs, entrepreneurship, and meaningful economic participation. This, Mr. Speaker, has created a growing population of skilled but unemployed youth, raising concerns about social stability, economic productivity, and the realization of constitutional rights under Article 43 on social and economic security. In the statement, Mr. Speaker, the committee should address the following. 1, the number of graduates entering the labor market annually over the last 5 years, disaggregated by level of qualification, field of study, and employment status. 2, measures taken by the county government, national government agencies, and the private sector to support employability, innovation, and enterprise development, as well as to expand opportunities through jobs, internships, apprenticeships, and entrepreneurship. 3, whether the county government has assessed the alignment between university and college programs with labor demands in key sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, technology, trade, and services. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, concrete steps and timelines to bridge the gap between rising graduation rates and available economic opportunities. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mazayo.
Asante mstahiki Spika. Mstahiki Spika, nataka kusoma taarifa hii kuhusu ukosefu wa huduma za mahakama kwa wakaazi wa Bamba katika kaunti ya Kilifi. Mheshimiwa Spika, nasimama kwa kanuni za kudumu kipengele cha 53 sheria ya kwanza ya hizi kanuni zetu za Seneti, kuomba kauli kutoka kwa kamati ya haki, masuala ya kisheria na haki za kibinadamu kuhusu ukosefu wa mahakama ya hakimu katika wadi ya Bamba, eneo bunge la Ganze, kaunti ya Kilifi. Mstahiki Spika, licha ya kwamba Bamba huwa ni eneo kubwa lenye idadi kubwa ya wakaazi walio na mahitaji ya huduma ya mahakama, wananchi wanalalamika kusafiri umbali ama urefu hadi Kilifi, Malindi, Kaloleni au Mariakani ili kupata huduma hizo za mahakama. Jambo hili linasababisha kuongezeka kwa gharama, kucheleweshwa kwa haki na kuwakatishia tamaa waathiriwa wa uhalifu kuripoti matukio au kufuatilia kesi zao. Bwana Spika, katika kauli hiyo kamati zizingatie yafuatayo. Ya kwanza, sababu zinazofanya wadi ya Bamba kukosa mahakama ya hakimu licha ya idadi kubwa ya wakaazi na mahitaji ya huduma za mahakama. Ya pili, ikiwa idara ya mahakama imefanya tathmini ya uwezekano wa kuanzisha mahakama ya hakimu Bamba, matokeo ya tathmini hiyo ya mazungumzo na serikali ya kaunti ya Kilifi kuhusu utoaji wa ardhi au miundombinu ya kujenga mahakama ama mipangilio ambayo imefanywa ili kuweza kujenga mahakama ya sheria. Namba 3, hatua zinazochukuliwa kwa sasa kuhakikisha wakaazi wanapata huduma kwa urahisi na kwa wakati, ikiwepo matumizi ya mahakama za kutembea, mahakama za kuzunguka ama za mzunguko au huduma za mitandao ili kupunguza gharama ya kusafiri na changamoto zinazowakabili wananchi wanaoishi sehemu za Bamba ndani ya kaunti ya Kilifi. Namba 4, kamati ichunguze ikiwa kuna mipango au kujenga mahakama ya hakimu Bamba, ieleze muda wa utekelezaji, fedha zitakazotengwa na hatua zilizofikiwa kufikia sasa. Mwisho, kamati hiyo pia izingatie mikakati ya muda. Kuna muda gani ama muda mrefu ya kuboresha upatikanaji wa huduma za mahakama Bamba na maeneo mengine yenye changamoto kama hizo katika kaunti ya Kilifi. Asante Mstahiki Spika.
Senator Andy Okech.
Mr. Speaker, thank you, and thank you for giving me the opportunity. You've seen Senator Cherargei consulting with me very, very closely because he thought you were going to call him first because of ranking member. But you know, he has been hitting me that I'm the senior most bachelor here. We've just discovered that he's a bachelor. So he's the senior most bachelor in this house, Senator Cherargei. So thank you for giving me this opportunity, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I rise
Just a minute, Senator.
Mr. Speaker.
Majority in the point of order.
Mr. Speaker, you know, the records of this House remain in perpetuity. Even in the year 2126, 100 years from today, it is possible, if Jesus Christ will not have come back, to find out what was said in the House of Parliament on such and such a day. It will be so dangerous, Mr. Speaker, if the records reflect that the senior elder from Nandi, a man whose family I know very well, unless that status has changed, is recorded as a bachelor in this House, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, could you please order that those utterances are withdrawn? There is an apology, Mr. Speaker. Otherwise, the other risk, Mr. Speaker, Senator Cherargei is a member of, what do they call that association of Catholic men? The one that put on red tie. CMA. At, what is the name of your church? I'm forgetting. St. Francis Cheptaret. I've gone to that church, Mr. Speaker, and he's a very respected elder. Lest he is excommunicated, Mr. Speaker, can the records properly reflect his status?
There was also a point of order from Senator Chelgei, the owner of the shoe.
Mr. Speaker, understanding 105, it should be a statement of fact. I don't know why Senator Eddy decided to pick on me this afternoon. If he has a problem of looking for a wife, then he should consult me. Because I'm expert, Mr. Speaker, a family man, respected elder of the Nandi community, a respected religious, and the chair of PAC is my witness, Mr. Speaker. So can he withdraw and apologize? Or I produce witnesses in this House to discount this theory, including my chair of Public Accounts Committee.
You should be seated. You should be seated. I'm not yet done with you because I think you touched some live wire. Yes, Senator Kongo Mugen.
Mr. Speaker, so that we put this matter to rest, I've also been a guest for Senator Cherargei. The last time I was there to bury his grandmother, I saw elders introduce him as a young man. And they did tell us when we visited that they were honestly looking for a wife for Cherargei. Mr. Speaker, so that this point is put to rest, Mr. Speaker, I would like to know when he married, the name of the wife, whether he also paid dowry, Mr. Speaker, because he's my friend, Mr. Speaker, and I would like to pay him a courtesy visit and welcome him to the club of elders, Mr. Speaker. Can he clarify to the House when the ceremonies were done and the name of the wife, Mr. Speaker?
Honorable Senators, I think the other young elder from Kericho is aware that Senator Cherargei is a married man with a family. So, and also Senator Kajwang nodded and confirmed that he is aware. So, Senator Ende Okech, can proceed and withdraw the statement.
Mr. Speaker, in this House there's tradition that if you say any statement that is not statement of fact, you substantiate. So I think that, Mr. Speaker, I wish to substantiate partly and then to give you another chance to substantiate fully. Number one, Mr. Speaker, because Senator Cherargei is a faithful of the Catholic Church, if there is any matrimony he did, that he did must be public. And number two, Mr. Speaker, you have seen, where it haven't finished, you'll come. Mr. Speaker, you have seen when the defender, the Kalenjin Jurinjeke in this House, called Senator Cheriot, Mr. Speaker, when he was defending Senator Cherargei, you could see a ring on his finger. When my brother, Senator Mugeni, was defending Senator Cherargei, you could see a ring on his finger. If you look at the finger of Cherargei and my ring, they are the same, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Ende Okech. There are different types of marriages.
Mr. Speaker, I was coming
and
to
you are
that.
aware. So either you withdraw that, because the member requested that you must withdraw,
Mr.
so
Speaker,
that you can make progress.
Mr. Speaker, I will substantiate if you give me a time next time, because I don't want it to be an issue. But I am appreciating him for being a senior
I
bachelor
want you
like
to go
myself.
the route of withdrawing, because I don't want to put the family of Senator Chalagay into this dispute. It will be fair.
Mr. Speaker,
if
that
you
would be,
withdraw.
Mr. Speaker, that would be utterly out of sympathy for him, but not out of our regulations. So I will withdraw out of sympathy, but not out of regulations for Senator Chalagay.
Proceed and conclude.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is a request of statement on the pollution of rivers Kuja and River Migori due to gold mining in Migori County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order number 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the degradation and pollution of rivers Kuja and River Migori arising from artisanal and large-scale gold mining activities in Migori County. Mr. Speaker, sir, these rivers are vital for the domestic use, irrigation, fishing, livestock, and livelihoods, yet mine waste, tailings, and chemical pollution continue to threaten water quality, ecosystems, public health, and socioeconomic well-being of the residents. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, in the statement, the committee should address the following: the extent of pollution in rivers Kuja and River Migori based on water quality assessments by NEMA and the Water Resources Authority, the state of Department for Mining and other relevant agencies over the last 5 years, including sources, nature of pollutants, and compliance with national water standards. Secondly, measures taken to regulate mining activities and enforce environmental laws, including inspections, compliance with environmental impact assessment and audit requirements, actions against illegal mining, restoration orders, license, suspension or revocation, and prosecution of operators responsible for pollution. Thirdly, interventions to safeguard affected communities, including provision of safe alternative water resources by the county government, regular water quality monitoring, public health surveillance, advisories, and support for farmers, fishermen, and livestock keepers whose livelihoods have been adversely affected. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, the committee should address the government's long-term strategy for restoring and protecting the two rivers, including rehabilitation of degraded areas, reclamation of abandoned mining sites, management of mine waste and tailings, restoration of riparian ecosystems, and enhanced coordination between national and county governments to promote environmentally sustainable mining. Mr. Speaker, I have two more statements. My second one, Mr. Speaker, if you allow me, is a statement on the state of emergency obstetric care at Migori County Referral Hospital. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order number 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standard Committee on Health on a matter of, again, Migori County-wide concern regarding the state of emergency obstetric care in Migori. Mr. Speaker, sir, this follows the tragic deaths of Mrs. Immaculate Wanjiru, a 24-year-old mother who died at Migori County Referral Hospital on 22nd June 2026 after being referred from a single dispensary in critical condition following a severe obstetric emergency. In the statement, the committee should address the following: the circumstances surrounding the death of Ms. Immaculate Wanjiru, including the timeline of the referral process from a single dispensary to Migori County Referral Hospital, and where the emergency of the newborn care protocols were done and followed, the status and findings of the maternal and perinatal death surveillance and response investigations, including the recommendations and any administrative, disciplinary, or legal action taken against persons found culpable, the preparedness and capacity of Migori County's maternal health care system to address such emergencies. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, the measures by the County Government of Migori and the Ministry of Health to reduce preventable maternal deaths, implementing the MPD as air recommendations, and publicly report the findings and actions arising from the interventions into the deaths of Mrs. Wanjiru. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, actually, Mr. Speaker, this one I'd actually read. I don't know why it has been approved again. So I'll leave it at that.
You had two statements which you have read.
Thank you.
Senator S. Okenyuri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a statement on the decentralization of medical assessment services for persons with disability. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on a matter of national concern regarding the decentralization of medical assessment services for persons with disabilities. Mr. Speaker, sir, despite digitization of the application process, the mandatory requirement for medical assessment report from designated health facilities remain a major obstacle, particularly for PWDs in rural areas and those with severe physical disabilities. The high costs of mobility and logistical challenges have excluded many from accessing certificates, thereby denying them critical benefits such as assistive devices, educational support, tax reliefs, and social protection programs. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the county level figures vis-a-vis the national registered number of persons with disabilities in each county and the steps being taken to bridge the gap in statistics, including specific details on the following. A, any joint effort between the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection, the National Council for Persons with Disabilities, and other government institutions to decentralize and bring medical assessment services closer to PWDs, particularly in rural and marginalized areas. B, efforts by the government to undertake periodic outreach programs to facilitate medical assessment for PWDs, especially those with mobility challenges in underserved, far-flung areas, and strategies to establish permanent medical assessment centers in the said areas, and the steps being taken to simplify the registration process for PWDs. Secondly, the measures to ensure that no PWD is denied access to government incentives and reliefs accruing from PWDs for failure to obtain disability certificates, particularly where they have faced apparent challenges in the registration process. Thank you, Speaker.
Senator Samson Chalgay.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know why the senior bachelor is sitting next to Senator Ogola. Mr. Speaker, let me read my statements. There are 2. 1, and Senator Ogola is happily married. The Senate requests for statement on the employment terms of long-serving contract nurses at Madari National Teaching and Referral Hospital. Mr. Speaker, sir, I raise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on a matter of national concern regarding the employment terms of long-serving contract nurses at Madari National Teaching and Referral Hospital. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Ministry of Health has over the years engaged nurses on contractual terms to support the delivery of specialized mental health care at Madari National Teaching and Referral Hospital. However, representations by affected nurses indicate that a number of them have remained on successive 3-month contracts since June 2021, despite performing duties of permanent and continuous nature alongside permanent and pensionable nurses, with concern also being raised regarding disparities in remuneration, Mr. Speaker, and salaries. Mr. Speaker, in the statement, the committee should address the following: the number of nurses serving on contract at Madari National Teaching and Referral Hospital, the duration and terms of their respective engagements, and the reasons for retaining them on successive short-term contracts. Number 2, a comparison of remuneration, risk allowances, extraneous allowances, other benefits between contract nurses and those on permanent and pensionable terms with justification for any disparities. Mr. Speaker, number 3, the policy and criteria governing the absorption of long-serving contract nurses to permanent and pensionable employment, including recognition of their years of service for purposes of career progression and other employment benefits. And finally, Mr. Speaker, the compliance of the current contractual arrangements with the Constitution, the Employment Act of 2007, the Labor Relations Act of 2007, and other applicable laws, including the measures to address identified gaps while protecting nurses from intimidation or victimization. Finally, Mr. Speaker, on this statement, the measures by the Ministry of Health, the Public Service Commission, the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, and other relevant agencies to resolve the employment concerns and establish a sustainable employment framework for long-serving contract healthcare workers in a national referral hospital. Mr. Speaker, on my final statement, request for a statement on the persistent water shortage in Wajir County. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Labor, Environment and Natural Resources on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the persistent water shortage affecting the residents of Wajir. Mr. Speaker, sir, Article 43(1)(d) of the Constitution of Kenya guarantees every person right to clean and safe water in adequate quantities. Despite this guarantee, the residents of Wajir County continue to face persistent water shortages, leaving many households without reliable access to clean water and exposing them to serious health and economic and social challenges. The crisis has disrupted livelihoods and raised concerns about adequacy of emergency intervention, sustainability of existing water supply systems, and accountability in the use of public resources allocated to the water sector. In the statement, the committee should address the following: the extent of water shortage in Wajir County, including the number of affected households, the most affected sub-counties, wards, and villages, and the underlying causes of crisis. Number 3, Mr. Speaker, the immediate intervention by the national and county governments to provide affected residents with clean and reliable water, and the long-term measures to ensure sustainable water access, including development and rehabilitation of water infrastructure, groundwater development, water harvesting, and climate-resilient water supply systems. Mr. Speaker, number 4, the measures to mitigate by both the county and national government the humanitarian, health, socio-economic impact of water shortage, particularly on women, children, older persons, and persons living with disabilities. Mr. Speaker, the funds, number 4, the funds allocated and expended by the national and county governments on water supply and infrastructure projects in Wajir County over the last 5 financial years, 2021, 2022, up to 2025, 2026 by both the county and national government. The implementation status of each project and the measures taken to ensure transparency, accountability, and proper utilization of public funds, including any audits, investigations, or corrective actions being undertaken. Mr. Speaker, and finally, the mechanisms established to strengthen coordination between the national and county government of Wajir in the planning, financing, and implementation of water projects to prevent the recurrence of water shortages in the area. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I beg for your indulgence on a matter that has troubled me for a while now this week. And Senator Cherargei, while reading his statement, has reminded me of that issue. This House, Mr. Speaker, is guided by standing orders. And where standing orders don't expressly provide for a matter, we are guided for by traditions. And you know that fairly well, Mr. Speaker. It is a tradition of this House, Mr. Speaker, that matters of a particular county are left to the elected senator of that particular county. You've just had Senator Cherargei, Mr. Speaker, seek a statement on matters to do with Wajir County, and Senator Abbas is here. Earlier this week, there was a statement by, I think, Senator Sifuna with regards to something in Taita Taveta, and things like that, Mr. Speaker, and Kajiado. Mr. Speaker, that though it is not expressly provided for in our standing orders, the traditions of this House have always been that there is that collegiality and respect among us colleagues that if you have something that is of interest to you, you first refer to the area senator to understand that matter before you seek it. Because for obvious reasons, Mr. Speaker, yet I see a trend coming up where your office approves statements by senators on matters that are over and above their area of jurisdiction, so to speak, Mr. Speaker. I would wish that that is something you may not have to respond immediately, but something that you may want to reflect upon, Mr. Speaker. You now was willing to allow that leverage, because you know this House has presidential candidates, Mr. Speaker, but I've come to realize they are not very serious, Mr. Speaker, because I watched another one being asked what is their plan for the country. They said, you know, I'm a lawyer, I'll hire experts to tell me what I need to do. So, Mr. Speaker, can we just be allowed to do our work as senators and leave it at that? This business that is being introduced is not good for us amongst ourselves as colleagues. Otherwise, if I bring a statement tomorrow about Homa Bay, what will the people say about Senator Kajwang? Of course, it will be translated as if there's an abdication of responsibility from his part. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Comment on the statements is we are yet to get there. So what I want to do now is to request the majority leader to read the statement under 57.1. The matter that has been raised by the majority leader, as he requested, the chair will give a thought about it and direct the House on the way forward. Can you read the statement and then I can decide what to do?
Then jury check has decided, so members, you and Mr. Speaker, my comments do not in any way mean that our colleagues who are nominated, they understand their constituency, Mr. Speaker. You present a statement, you represent Kenya, so you can.
Majority leader. Yes. Can you have your seat now? Because I can see you are not intended to give the statement now. Okay, honorable senators, I want to make these two communications. I wish to acknowledge in the public gallery presence of the four elders and members of the PCEA Church in Nyeri County on invitation of the Senator for Nyeri County. They are seated in the public gallery. On behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, I welcome them and wish them a fruitful visit to the Senate. Let me read also this one. This is a visiting delegation of committee members from Kideno Housing Cooperative Society Limited from Meru County. I would like to acknowledge the presence of a visiting delegation of committee members of Kideno Cooperative Society Limited from Meru County, who are seated in the public gallery. The delegation is visiting the Senate for an academic exposition, also to learn maybe the working of the Senate. On behalf of the Senate and on my behalf, I extend a warm welcome to the delegation and wish them a fruitful visit. I thank you. Now, Honorable Senators, one of the delegation in the public gallery comes from my, yes, from not even Meru County, but this is the cooperative which made me to go to school through Coffee Society. So this is just from my village, from where I come from. So I really want to also welcome them, and also the Presbyterian Church of East Africa, the elders who are here. But I will give the majority leader and the senator for Nyeri. Then start the Senator Wamatinga.
Asante sana mstahiki Spika. Siku ya leo nina furaha tele kwa sababu nawakaribisha washirika kanisa ambalo nalisoma, Women Guild. Mstahiki Spika, safari hii tulipanga na washirika Women's Guild kutoka Monyo Parish wakati nilikuwa nimeenda kwa siku yao ya kusherehekea siku ya Women Guild, na nikawaahidi nitawaleta hapa jumba la Seneti ndipo waweze kuona vile sisi tunaendesha biashara ya miswada na kuwakilisha Wakenya na sana sana kutetea ugatuzi. Ningeomba nichukue fursa hii kuwakaribisha hapa, na nadhani watakaporudi nyumbani, mshtaki Spika, wataenda kueleza yule seneta ambaye walimchagua anawakilisha vilivyo hapa Seneti, na tunaendelea kutetea ugatuzi, na niwatakie wanaporudi nyumbani safari njema. Asante sana Mr. Speaker kwa kunipa nafasi.
So under 1 minute, Senator Murango, I know you are passionate on coffee. Under 1 minute, kindly.
Asante sana Mr. Speaker. Kwanza ningetaka kuwakaribisha wanachama chama cha ushirika cha Kidhinu. Na kwanza niwapongeze pia kwa sababu uzao la kahawa ni muhimu sana katika nchi hii. Na mumeweza kutoa seneta ambaye anatuongoza hapa Speaker, na ambaye ni mwelendi na ako na tajriba ya juu. Niseme ya kwamba bunge la Seneti lipitisha sheria muhimu sana ya kahawa ambayo iliwekwa sahihi na Rais wa Kenya, ambayo itasaidia sana wanaolima kahawa kuhakikisha kwamba hawatumii vibaya na wakiritimba ambao maingilia kahawa. Kwa hivyo ningemwomba mnapoenda nyumbani mjue ya kwamba sehemu mnayoshikilia katika vyama vya ushirika ni muhimu sana kwa Kenya nzima hii. Asante sana Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Senate Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I assume I'm supposed to welcome the delegation first before the statement. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it will be wrong if I ignore the very beautiful mothers of ours that are here from the Nyeri Women's Guild team. They look lovely, and Mr. Speaker, I must congratulate our colleague, Senator Wamatinga, for inviting the distinguished ladies from Nyeri County to visit with us this afternoon and get to see us as we transact our business. I want to tell them they have a great leader in Senator Commissioner Wahome Wamatinga, and they should continue to support him because he means well for the people of Nyeri. Mr. Speaker, the second group that you have invited here, Kidhino Housing Cooperative Society, we have to applaud and appreciate them. If this is the cooperative that made you go to school, Mr. Speaker, then we must tell them that their money never went to waste, Mr. Speaker, because we have an able Deputy Speaker in you, a strong leader from the Meru community, Mr. Speaker, and a leader for the future. I want to ask, Mr. Speaker, that these cooperative members give us the secret. I don't know why, Mr. Speaker, but I have learned something, that Meru County has very strong cooperative movement. I have seen this one. I know also in the milk sector, the best leading cooperative comes from Meru County. So maybe, Mr. Speaker, later you will tell Senator Cherargei, myself, and even Senator Kinyua, who I'm not sure has such strong cooperative movements from their county, Mr. Speaker, what is the secret? I don't know. I was just thinking, Mr. Speaker, is it because that the Meru people don't allow anybody to joke with their money? And if you go near it, Mr. Speaker, they administer instant justice the way they do to Mira thieves, Mr. Speaker. Maybe if that is a secret, you need to tell us so that we know. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, when they go back home, they should tell the people of Meru that this house is properly constituted. When a matter is brought before us, we consider the merits of the matter based on the evidence that has been brought before us. I know there is a lady who has been going around Nyeri saying very bad things about you, and this House, Mr. Speaker. They must go back and report that we have told them, Mr. Speaker, that based on the evidence that was presented by the County Assembly of Meru, it is on that reason that Governor Kawera Mwangaza was impeached and not any other reason and those drama that he does. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I finally...
Now proceed and lead the statement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sorry. Number 57.1, to present the business for the week that commences 4th of August, 2026. The status of legislative business before the Senate is as follows, Mr. Speaker. There are 55 bills that are pending conclusion, of which 37 are at the second reading, 17 are at the committee of the whole, and 1 is awaiting the first reading. 14 motions are pending conclusion. There are 23 petitions, Mr. Speaker, that are pending before the various standing committees of the House, Mr. Speaker, out of which 18 are already due for reporting. Mr. Speaker, members have also brought 560 statements before the House that are being handled by the various committees of this House. It is my hope that the proper response will be brought before the House, Mr. Speaker, so that we consider and conclude on those matters. At the sitting of the Senate on Tuesday, the 4th of August, the tentative business for the day will include business that we will not have concluded on today's order paper, as well as business that is indicated in the order paper of that particular day. The tentative business for Wednesday, 5th of August 2026, will include questions to the Cabinet Secretaries as approved by the SBC, as well as motions. The questions include questions to the Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Lands, Ministry of Mining, and Mr. Speaker, yesterday you directed that the Cabinet Secretary for ICT appears next week as well on Wednesday the 5th to respond to the statement they were supposed to respond to yesterday when they requested that it be varied by 1 more week. The tentative business for the afternoon sitting on Wednesday, 5th August, will also include business that will not have been concluded on Tuesday. There are various bills, including the AFA bill, the County Government's Amendment, Kenya Health Product Technology, Mr. Speaker, as well as many other bills. We have motions that are before us, and I'd wish to urge the members that are sponsoring those particular motions, Mr. Speaker, to avail themselves in the House for considerations of those bills and motions so that we conclude. It is important, Mr. Speaker, that the honorable senators to recall that the Senate is scheduled to proceed on a month-long recess at the rise of the House next week on Thursday, 6th of August 2026, in accordance with our calendar. I therefore once again want to urge honorable members to be available in the House at least for the 3 days next week so that we can conclude as much business as possible before we proceed for the long recess, Mr. Speaker, to attend to the more pressing needs, Mr. Speaker, of our constituents. Mr. Speaker, I thank you and do hereby lay the statement. I thank you.
I have exactly 10 minutes. I can allow a few members to make brief comments. Under senators, you know, I've been listening to members of this House. You know, when you are giving a comment on a statement, you are not supporting the statement, but giving a comment, which you can do within 2 minutes. But the members are taking 5-10 minutes to give their comments. I support, which is not the case. You just give a comment on that statement. So I want to give a few members.
Who is inside here? Senator Mutinda.
Senator Mutinda, under 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I'll try to utilize the 2 minutes and I rise to support one of the statements by Senator Lelego in regards to the issue of Cashon's employees who have not really been paid their dues and paid their dues on time. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support because I want to really bring about the issue of many other employees who are facing such kind of issues. A case example is an issue that has been brought to my attention in regards to retired teachers whose pension up to date, Mr. Speaker, has not been sorted for the longest period of time. They brought petitions in and out, and I would want to urge that the Committee of Labour that will be dealing with this matter to cut across all other pending matters of dues. I've seen also the statement by Senator Wakoli in regards to allowances for the healthcare workers, Mr. Speaker. It's the same issue, allowances not being paid. It's the high time the Labour Committee would look at the issues of pension, issues of allowances in a broader perspective. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, on the issues of permanent and pensionable employment, I am referencing in regards to the UHC workers, Mr. Speaker. This House passed the County Additional Allocation Bill, which had 8.6 billion for our UHC workers, Mr. Speaker. And the Senate did its part, Mr. Speaker. But we saw a very big outcry for our UHC workers who claimed that they needed to be employed permanently and pensionably because for the longest period of time, they've really, been on contract, Mr. Speaker. So issues of workers is an issue that cuts across many institutions and should come to an end, and would really want the Committee of Labour to fasten this. With those few, Mr. Speaker, I support.
Senator Kajwang Moses.
Mr. Speaker, the statement request by Senator Professor Jenda, in my view, is what needs to concern this nation. Professor Jenda is asking for county government of Kisumu's intervention on unemployment within that county. Mr. Speaker, youth unemployment is not just a county problem, it is a national problem. And current interventions that we have put in place around internships, around empowerment programs, around provision of grants like Nyota, Mr. Speaker, those just scratch the surface. They will not provide the long-lasting solutions that we need. I want to encourage the team led by Professor Nyong'o that is putting together a new vision for Kenya to start a conversation on industrial policy. And we ask ourselves as a country, what is it that we want to achieve economically and socially for our people? Mr. Speaker, our new vision must be a private sector-led growth strategy. The government, both national and county, can employ just about 1 million or 1.5 million people. What happens to the rest of the citizens? Mr. Speaker, small and medium enterprises must be empowered. And when we talk about private sector, we are not talking about the big banks, Equity, KCB, etc. We are talking about the small players who are able to create employment opportunities for people. How India grew, how India industrialized, using the small and medium enterprises. Mr. Speaker, government cannot be an employer. Government can only be an enabler. Government can only provide the environment for enterprises to thrive, and as they thrive, they can create employment opportunities. Mr. Speaker, what businesses are complaining about in this economy is uncertainty. We had a fish processing plant in Koguna Beach in Homa Bay County. Mr. Speaker, it was the only fish processor on the Homa Bay side of Lake Victoria. They shut down due to uncertainties related to taxes and tariffs that keep changing every day. They shut down due to high energy prices. They shut down due to a dilapidated infrastructure, which made it more expensive for them to get goods to the market. Mr. Speaker, we need to address the cost of energy in this country, and that is why within the Climate Caucus we've been talking about going green, clean energy, using renewables, and reducing the cost of energy arising from thermal power sources. So, Mr. Speaker, I hope that the committee dealing with this matter will go beyond Kisumu County and look at what the government, current and future governments, irrespective of political party, must do. Because if we do not address youth unemployment, it is a ticking time bomb. Mr. Speaker, if you look at your gallery, there are hundreds of children who have come here today to see how the Senate works. We must ensure that we give them that certainty, we give them a promise that once they are done with school, they'll be able to get jobs. But let me advise them that the jobs will not necessarily come from government. What we must do as a Senate is to be the generation that laid the foundation for a private sector to thrive, for a private sector to grow, for our children to be innovators, for our children to be entrepreneurs in their own right. Mr. Speaker, I do hope that the committee will broaden their inquiry and their consideration onto those matters and see how government can provide an enabling environment for job creation for our children.
Senator Mwenda Kataya.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to comment on the statement by Senator Professor Senior Counsel Tom Ojenda on the level of unemployment in this country, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this statement is not confined in Kisumu. It's a national disaster, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think we need to have a very, very, very clear dispensation as a country. We need to have some very clear policies, Honorable Speaker, because we are producing every other year. We are producing young people from universities, from tertiary colleges, from other institutions in the job market, which is not there. Honorable Speaker, I've captioned my good friend Senator Kajwang say that the government cannot, it's not the only source of employment, which is very true, Honorable Speaker. We need to encourage very good systems where we are supposed to have a good atmosphere for investors. We need, Honorable Speaker, to create some policies where we are supposed to take factories and industries to rural areas so that those boys and girls can be absorbed, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, yesterday we were discussing something about Gurism. Even, Honorable Speaker, most of those young people that you find throwing stones in the streets, even in those political rallies, they are very vulnerable, Honorable Speaker, because they are jobless. That's why they are induced by small tokens here and there, by people who want to take advantage of their unemployment, Honorable Speaker. So this is an issue that as a country, as a nation, we are supposed to address thoroughly and make sure that it's not something that we are supposed to let go. We are sitting on a time bomb, Honorable Speaker. I think this is an issue that we are supposed to discuss on a very, very serious platform, and I hope the government is going to address those issues and to make sure that our young people and young girls who are graduating from various colleges, tertiary colleges, major universities, and so many people who have dropped off from school get their formal employment and earn a living. Honorable Speaker, that's a statement that cuts across counties, and I'm very sure that the government must be on top of things to make sure that our young people get jobs. Thank you.
While spraying an insecticide on his pigeon peas farm near Iriaini Central School, together with two casual laborers, they discovered the partially decomposed body of a miner beneath a mango tree. The officers documented the scene while Abubuku Kanyana positively identified the body as of his daughter. The body was removed to Mari Martini Level 5 Hospital for preservation and post-mortem, and the sub-county criminal investigation officers Chuka North took over the investigation via inquest file number 1 of 2026, and several persons of interest were summoned, interviewed, and their statement recorded. During the course of the investigation, and based on the witness statement obtained, no link was established between any person and the disappearance and subsequent murder of the miner. Further, no evidence of probative value was obtained. On the 12th of May, a postmortem examination was conducted by Dr. Richard Joroge, the pathologist, who opined that the cause of death was asphyxia secondary to ligature strangulation. Specimens were collected for DNA profiling, though the analysis report is yet to be received. The step taken, Honorable Speaker, the officer commanding OCS circulated, I think that one I'd already said. The investigation are still ongoing to determine the perpetrators of the heinous act. And on the status of the investigation file was completed and forwarded to the office of the DPP, Chuka, on the 18th June 2026. In response to the ODPP vital letter dated the 22nd June, recommended that the matter be placed before a magistrate of competent jurisdiction to conduct a public inquest. And I underline that, Honorable Speaker. So far, no arrest has been made in relation to the matter, and the case remains a pending court investigation. So maybe on that one, I can stop at that.
Go to the next. About arrest and the release of a suspect.
On the next question, statement rather, this is regarding circumstances that led to the arrest and the subsequent release of a suspect by the DCI. The member, or this is, I want to go straight to the response. On the 7th January, the complaint was lodged at the DCI headquarters by Eric Matakwa Okeno, who stated that he is the legal administrator of the estate of his late sister, Rosemary Ann Akinyi Okeno, which included land parcel number CR number 51563, situated in Kikambala, Kilifi County. He alleged that the property has been unlawfully occupied by James Ovid Sugar Yap, a British national, and his agent, Faruki Omar Mzee, and that the property's title deed has been fraudulently transferred using a forged document. He further stated that he had previously reported the matter at Mupwata police station, but alleged that no action has been taken on the complaint. Pursuant to the complaint, the DCI directed the Land Fraud Investigation Unit at DCI headquarters to take over the matter and conducted further investigation, of which during the investigation, the team recorded statements from relevant parties, including one James Ovid, who is being outside the country, submitted a self-recorded statement together with a supporting document through a relative residing in the country, one Mr. Faruki Omar, who claimed an interest in the property by virtue of a general power of attorney granted to him by James Ovid Yap. In addition, the investigation team obtained relevant documents from the Mombasa Land Registry and other institutions to facilitate the investigation. On the analysis, Honorable Speaker, the document revealed inconsistency in the land records, including discrepancies between the mother file deed and the presentation book entries, as well as an erroneous OB number quoted in a police abstract relating to the loss of the original title deed. The record further indicated that James Ovid, a non-Kenyan citizen, held an interest in the property under a freehold tenure, which is contrary to Article 65, subsection 1 of the Constitution of Kenya. Upon conclusion of the investigation, the duplicate file was forwarded to the DPP for perusal and direction, which recommended that James Shukar, Farouk Omar, and George Oduol and Lucy Momanyi to be charged as follows. Count 1, James Shukuriap, Farouk Omar, George Oduol and Lucy Momanyi to be jointly charged with conspiracy to defraud contrary to section 317 of the Penal Code. Count 2, James Ovid Sharap, Farouk Omar, and George Oduol to be jointly charged with forgery of title to land contrary to section 351 of the Penal Code. Count 3, James Ovid Sharap, alias Alva, to be jointly charged with a perjury contrary to section 113 of the Penal Code, with an alternative charge of fabricating evidence contrary to section 114 of the Penal Code. And the count 5, James Shukuriap and Farouk Omar to be jointly charged with intermeddling with the property of the deceased persons contrary to section 45 of the Law of Succession Act. After perusal of the duplicate file, the ODPP on a letter dated 9th February, directed the Farouk Omar Mzee be charged with the following offenses: intermeddling with the property of the deceased, obtaining registry of the title by false pretense, and acting on the ODPP direction, Farouk Omar was arrested on the 2nd April this year in the Hadi area and booked at Hadi Police Station, Vido bin number 11224 of 2026. He was thereafter escorted to DCI headquarters for processing Vido bin number 1224 of 2026 and subsequently placed in a custody at Muthaiga Police Station, bin number 2824 of 2026. However, the suspect stated that crucial evidence, and I think this is where the controversy from my colleague is the crucial evidence relevant to the matter had not been considered during the investigation and requested a review of the case. In the interest of fair administration action, he was released via Bill number 2924 of 2026 and directed to present the additional evidence for consideration. The new evidence, namely the Court of Appeal judgment, was subsequently reviewed, following which the duplicate file was resubmitted to ODPP for further review of the decision to charge via the letter as indicated there, which was dated on the 11th June this year. The review was informed by the existence of the related civil proceeding before the High Court of Kenya at Mombasa, civil suit number 2 of 2014, in which James Ovid Sugar Yap was the plaintiff, while Eric Okeno, Judith Sembioke. I'm trying to rush. It's a little bit long. Yeah. In the matter, the court ruled, Honorable Speaker, I know this is where the member, George, had an issue. In the matter, the court ruled in favor of the plaintiff, issued orders directing the defendant to vacate, to vacate and hand over the vacant possession of plot number 5313, CR 51563, and to pay general damages for the trespass amounting to 1.2 million. The judgment was delivered on the October 9th of 2020, and the defendant appealed against the High Court judgment via appeal number E027 of 2020 before the Court of Appeal in Mombasa, and the appeal was unsuccessful, and the Court of Appeal upheld the decision of the High Court. The duplicate police file is currently with ODPP for review in light of the new evidence presented. The police are awaiting direction. The police are awaiting direction and guidance from the ODPP. Upon receipt of the ODPP direction, the appropriate action will be taken. So I think to that end, Honorable Speaker, I'm sure during interrogation, the suspect. So I think the members, I think that's tend to summarize what is important in the report, in the statement, Honorable Speaker. And I submit.
Just hold on. Thank you. Morogara.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, these are extremely unsatisfactory responses from a serious body like the DCI, which is the successor entitled to the CID. And CID was loved and hated in equal measure because they used to do their job properly. The DCI here seems to be actually muddling issues and not taking his work seriously, and especially because of the following reasons. As regards the child, whose name is Shali Gatumi Mugendi, the child was actually kidnapped or whatever it was on the 27th of April 2026, and about 7 or so days later, in the same village where the police officers were conducting searches, that's where she was found. And what is most disturbing is the fact that in a rural setup like this one, the CID can come up with an answer that they do not know who committed the heinous crime, and they have therefore nobody to charge in the court. They call upon the public in an inquest to go and provide evidence for them to enable them act. I think the former CIDs who are now the DCI would possibly laugh at this, because those days we used to know the CID, that even if you committed a crime when you were alone, it wouldn't take you long before you are actually arrested and charged. But today, here is a crime committed in an old village where everybody lives, in a rural setup where everybody knows one another. And as we speak, we have now to cross our hands and pray that somebody has information to give to the police so that there can be a prosecution. This is most unsatisfactory. Let the CID do their work, please, because that is what we pay them for. Now, as regards the second statement, which I would term as also most unsatisfactory, this gentleman was arrested on the 2nd of April. We are told that he was taken to Hardy police station on the same day. Then a statement is made subsequently. He was taken to the headquarters, after where they took him to Muthaiga. And this is all the same day, purely because of the OB numbers given here. Now, it raises doubt whether really this man was handled properly, whether he was taken to any police station, or these are fabrications of the CID. But most important, if the DPP recommended that he be arrested and taken to court, what other business did the DCI have to say he had more evidence and therefore he needed to go back home to bring that evidence so that the file can be reviewed? Since when has the DCI reviewed information or evidence from the DPP? This is extremely curious. But most important again, when they say the evidence related to a civil case, if you look at the charges they proposed to the DCI the first instance, one of them is count number 3, that he would be charged with the perjury. Where was the perjury committed? It is in the cases that are being cited. The next one is an alternative charge of fabricating evidence. Where was the evidence fabricated if it was not in those cases? This statement is an afterthought. I'm sorry, the CS is actually trying to cover up for the CID, while the correct position is that the advice of the DPP has to be followed, the man has to be arrested, arraigned in court, and justice to take its own course. Now, we are told the file is with the DPP, and therefore it has not moved to DCI, purely because I think the DPP is getting frustrated. How can you recommend that the file is brought back? You are told to recommend again so that we can act. This must be brought to an end. And the Honorable Tongoyo, being the chair of this committee, should actually put down his feet to tell the DCI, move with speed, execute the advice of the DPP so that every Kenyan can also receive justice. It cannot be that we can arrest somebody who is a suspect. He comes and says, I have more evidence. He's released, and we are down 4 months since he was released. 4 months, they have not arrested him. They have done enough. Sincerely, this is frustrating. This makes every Kenyan wonder what the DCI is doing. Thank you very much.
Tongoyo?
I may not have much to add. I think you can agree with me. It's a little bit of a complex situation. It's an issue between the judiciary, ODPP, and DCI. And,
he says you have given the most unsatisfactory statement. Is that true?
I don't agree, Honorable Speaker. That's what I'm trying to say. A complex situation like this of land. You know, even land in Kenya can drag at even like 20, 30-ish, you know. We have one in Narok, Kiombo, which is doing about 36 years now. So, and,
good. What we do, keep the file open.
Yes.
If you get additional information, furnish the MP.
I will.
Yes. George Best, we leave it there. Jeanette, you, from the House Business Committee, you have the Thursday statement.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 442A, I rise to present the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 28th July 2026, to prioritize business for consideration during the week and the business coming before the House in the next week. Honorable Speaker, I wish to formally welcome members back from the just concluded short recess and urge them we all embark on the consideration of the upcoming priority business with rigor. As we approach the end of the 5th session, I urge members to remain committed to plenary and committee proceedings in order to enable the House to maintain optimal performance in its consideration of business. Honorable Speaker, with regard to business schedule for Tuesday next week, the House is expected to consider the following bills at various stages, some of which are listed in today's order paper as second reading of the following bills. 1, the Business Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 51 of 2024, the Competition Amendment Bill 2026, the Books and Newspapers Amendment Bill 2025, the County Library Services Bill, Senate Bill number 40 of 2024, the County Assembly Services Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 34 of 2024, and the Creative Economy Support Bill, Senate Bill number 30 of 2024. B, Committee of the Whole House on the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, Senate Bill number 8 of 2026. Additionally, Honorable Speaker, debate will be undertaken on the following motions should they not be concluded today. 1, report of the Kenya delegation to the 151 Assembly of the Interparliamentary Union, IPU, and related meetings. 2nd, report on the status of reports on petitions and resolutions. 3, report on the audited financial statements of selected state corporations in the road and transport sector. 4, report on the audited financial statements of selected state corporations in the energy sector. 5, 3rd, report on the status of reports on petitions and resolutions. 6th, 7th, report on the audited financial statements for various funds. 7th, 9th, report on the audited financial statements for various state corporations. 9, 5th, report on the status of reports on petitions and resolutions. And 10, report on sessional paper number 5 of 2026 on the national energy policy. Honorable Speaker, the House will also prioritize the motion and committee of the whole House on the consideration of Senate amendments to the Kenya National Council for Population and Development Bill 2023. The Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning, to which the amendments were referred for considerations, is therefore urged to table its report to the House to guide the considerations of the Senate amendments. Honorable Speaker, with respect to the appearance of Cabinet Secretaries to answer questions from members and provide reports on matters under their charge, I wish to inform the House that question time will be resumed at an appropriate time to be notified. In conclusion, the House Business Committee shall reconvene on Tuesday, 4th August 2026 to schedule business for the rest of that week. And I wish to lay this statement on the table of the House. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
That is the end of statement time. Honorable members, on the order paper, I've been requested by the Chair of Budget and Appropriations Committee, and I've acceded to his request that I reorganize the order paper so that we bring forward order number 10. Then once we dispose of order number 10, we'll go on to order number 8, 9, and sequentially follow the rest of the orders. Yes, Jared?
Honorable Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I want to state as follows, that leaders are by nature judged at higher standards than any other ordinary mortal, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, about 2-3 weeks ago, a leader in this country did assert that the British Army Training Unit of Kenya had they come to this country for Tanzania, Honorable Speaker, without facts, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, only for 5 days ago, for battle commanders to come out to say that they have since resumed trainings within this country, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it is also important to note that moving military trainees together with the artilleries that they have is not a mean achievement. It's not an easy exercise that can be done within a short period of time, Honorable Speaker. We are privileged in this House, Honorable Speaker, that you have been our Minister for Foreign Affairs, and no one understands better the diplomatic processes involved. Even when the battle had to decamp, there are legal and diplomatic means that must be put in place before such a movement is done, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, Sorry, Honorable Speaker. So what the leaders are saying, and these are from the United Opposition, Honorable Speaker, as sensational as they are, is to instill fear into people and judge Kenya as a failed state, Honorable Speaker. Far from it, Honorable Speaker, there are many United Nations organizations that are moving into this country and are setting their bases here amidst the noises that are coming from our political detractors, Honorable Speaker. But as leaders, I think it is important that we really investigate what we say and how we say it, because this country belongs to us all. If it collapses with all of us, Honorable Speaker. Just not too long ago, the same leader was asking tourists not to step their feet into this country, Honorable Speaker. Yet, out of tourism, we get our number 2 best earner, Honorable Speaker. So, if the tourists refuse to come, how many people do you think are going to lose jobs, are going to lose livelihoods, which they eke out of both tourism and hospitality industries, Honorable Speaker? So politics we can play, and it is important that we play politics. But when it gets into the attention of the international community, Honorable Speaker, we really have to be careful. We have to step back, reflect, retool before we make any adverse assertions that are coming from our leaders. So, Honorable Speaker, you sit at a vantage position to advise leaders from across the aisle to be very careful with the pronouncements that they make, particularly those that inhibit both on international community issues and our own local issues, because the world has become a global village. What you say here does not really end up at Wamunyoro village. It gets the attention of everybody. So, Honorable Speaker, we pass this baton back to you to advise leaders to be very careful and not to become too sensational with emotive consequences that may, again, ban this country. 2007, 2008, and the attendant bad things that happened, Honorable Speaker, was a result of such careless pronouncements by leaders. So thank you for the opportunity, Honorable Speaker. Please direct our country. We have faith in you. We have confidence in you.
Thank you. Yes, Junet?
Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me a chance to say something. Mr. Speaker, what is going on in this country is alarming. Mr. Speaker, just first to buttress what my colleague has said about Batuk. Not only did that, I don't want to call him a leader, but that person or that impeached leader, did he only say that that contract was cancelled? He said there was a demand of 3 billion shillings by people in government for Batuk to be allowed to do their work in Nyanyuki or in Kenya. And Mr. Speaker, a day later, the whole thing was restored back. Mr. Speaker, what is happening in this country is really, really alarming. There is gross violation of the Constitution. This one man who has violated the Constitution when he was in office, and he continues violating the Constitution when he's out of office, Mr. Speaker. I don't know whether our institutions have stopped working. The NCIC, the DCI, the police, Mr. Speaker, because what that impeached leader is doing in this country is to destroy the fabric of this country so that Kenyans can turn against each other. Mr. Speaker, I'm sorry I came late to the House, but with your permission, Mr. Speaker, I'm one of the people or one of the leaders in this House, Mr. Speaker, who have been elected from a constituency that his community does not stay or is not the majority, Mr. Speaker. And I've represented them for over 3 terms. And I was even a mayor there, Mr. Speaker, where you visited me many times when you were mentoring me in leadership. Mr. Speaker, those people did not look at my tribe. They do not look at my religion, do not look at my color, they do not look at my face or how my nose looks like. They looked at my capacity to serve them, Mr. Speaker, that community who stay in that area, the Luo community. Mr. Speaker, what is happening in this country? Now, the impeached leader goes to Meru and says, have you missed somebody from here that you can elect an Indian? He goes to Kisii. He says, have you missed someone? Then you are electing another Indian here or Chotara. Mr. Speaker, when have we gone that low in this country, Mr. Speaker? When have we himself? He's claiming that, or he's pleading that his impeachment should be withdrawn by the courts so that he can run for a higher office. He claims that he wants to become a president or a DP. Who will elect him? If he doesn't want an Indian to be elected in Meru, why should we elect him as our leader? A rogue person like him, Mr. Speaker? A mentally, a mental case. This is a man with is a psychopath, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to urge, and I'm speaking with a lot of humility, that, Mr. Speaker, if our institutions that are mandated to uphold and defend the Constitution do not take any action against this rogue leader, Mr. Speaker, don't be shocked if Kenya starts, having problems with each other, Mr. Speaker. Look at, Mr. Speaker, what's happening in other parts. The other day, there's a fugitive group that ran away from ODM. They wanted to go and campaign for some candidate in that by-election in Olkalau, Mr. Speaker. He told them, no, you cannot go there. I'm not going to allow you to go to Olkalau. Is Olkalau not Kenya? Is Olkalau not part of this country? Are Kenyans not allowed to go to anywhere, Mr. Speaker? So, Mr. Speaker, this is the house that addresses matters of concern to the people. And that is why we are here. That's why we earn salary. And that is our work, to defend and uphold the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, if the institutions of the country do not want to take any action against that guy, then the committee of this house must summon him. Because the house also have powers to summon anybody in this country, Mr. Speaker, especially people who have violated people who want to destroy the country, Mr. Speaker. So there are committees that I am going to file a motion if I am going to give time to the institutions to do their work. If they don't do, I will file a motion in the House to summon this guy before this House and tell Kenyans why he wants to destroy their country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
We'll stop there. Call out order number 10.
Order number 10, the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, Senate Bill number 8 of 2026, second reading.
Chair, Budget and Appropriations Committee.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Speaker, for accepting my request to be granted the early opportunity to be able to move this bill. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House adopts the report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on its consideration of the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill 2026, Senate Bills number 8 of 2026, laid on the table of the House yesterday, Wednesday, 29th July 2026, and pursuant to Articles 191 and 2022 of the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, this bill was prepared by the National Treasury and submitted with the budget policy statement under Section 191 of the PFM Act. It was published on 16th March 2026, passed by the Senate with amendments on 17th June 2026, and read for the first time in the National Assembly on 30th June 2026 before it was referred to this committee. Honorable Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to give you make highlights of the bill. And Honorable Speaker, the bill is divided into 3 schedules. The first schedule contains 148.3 million, which is allocated for court fines, and also 1.83 billion, which is 20% of mineral royalties. Honorable Speaker, the second schedule allocates the following: 16.46 billion from the national government share of revenue and 53.82 billion from the loans and grants by development partners, which is in the third schedule. Honorable Speaker, if you allow me, I'll be able to just make further clarifications on the components of the bill as follows. One, Honorable Speaker, 148.26 million, which is allocated for 29 counties, led by Nairobi, which will take the lion's share of 72.87 million, Machakos County, 19.17 million, Mombasa County, 14.23 million, and Uasin Gishu County, 13.9 million. Honorable Speaker, these are fines that are related to offenses that touch on the counties. So, Honorable Speaker, at the end of the year, these court fines are shared with the counties that the offenses occurred. Honorable Speaker, the second one is 1.83 billion, which is mineral royalties. And Honorable Speaker, about 30 counties will benefit from this allocation, led by Kwale County, which will take 804.28 million, Kajiado County 310.26 million, Kilifi County 240.8 million, Nandi County 121.48 million, and West Pokot County 103.87 million. Honorable Speaker, these are counties where mining is taking place. And Honorable Speaker, you can see that Kwale is leading. It is important to note, Honorable Speaker, that minerals are found in almost all counties. Even in Siaya, where I come from, there are minerals. So if county governments could work closely with the national government to ensure that these minerals are properly, resourced and mined, then we could see this allocation really going up. Our counties are going to receive more resources. Honorable Speaker, the third one is 3.23 billion, which is monthly stipends to 107,831 community health promoters across 47 counties. Honorable Speaker, you are aware that there's a program where CHPs are paid by national government as well as county governments. Honorable Speaker, here, this money, each CHP will get 5,000 shillings from this bill across all the counties. The fourth one, Honorable Speaker, is 525 million for county headquarters. Honorable Speaker, there are about 5 counties where the national government is assisting them to build their county headquarters. These counties include Isiolo, which has been allocated 158.8 million, Lamu 71.6 million, Tana River 95.3 million, Tharaka Nithi 30.5 million, Nyandarua 166.8 million. Honorable Speaker, the fifth one is 3.25 billion, which has been allocated to 13 counties, which include Bomet, Elgeyo Marakwet, Isiolo, Kisumu, Lamu, Makueni, Mandera, Nairobi, Samburu, Taita Taveta, Tharaka Nithi, Turkana, and West Pokot, for county aggregation and industrial parks, KIPES, with each county receiving 250 shillings million. Honorable Speaker, it is worth noting that 16 counties, namely Bungoma, Busia, Embu, Garissa, Homa Bay, Kisii, Kirinyaga, Kwale, Machakos, Meru, Nakuru, Migori, Uasin Gishu, Kiambu, Trans Nzoia, and Kakamega are counties that have already completed their KIPES, and they are only awaiting operationalization. Honorable Speaker, number 6, 8.61 billion, which has been allocated for transition of UHC workers into permanent and pensionable terms. Honorable Speaker, this is something which would interest members of this House, that there's been a campaign by the UHC workers across the country that they be confirmed into permanent and pensionable employment. Honorable Speaker, I want to report that this bill contains the resources that are supposed to be used for that purpose. Additionally, there's 366.6 million, which is money which is supposed to be used to supervise the affordable housing programs across the country. Each county is supposed to receive 7.8 million so that the teams that are on the ground that are supposed to check the progress of this program can utilize those resources for the same. Honorable Speaker, we have 480.7 million, which is for settlement of Meru County's arbitral award. Honorable Speaker, Meru County received a court award, and from this court award, Meru County paid some portion, and the national government committed to also assist them in paying this award. So we have this allocation here in the bill. The other one is 53.8 billion to multiple donor-funded programs, which include KISIP 2, FLOCA, NAV, CBD, KUSIP, ETC. So these are basically donor funding, which is should be implemented in the counties. Honorable Speaker, I want to make a few observations from the committee. One, Honorable Speaker, the county governments continue to benefit from conditional allocations financed through process of loans and grants from development partners. For example, in the financial year 2026-2027, the bill proposes conditional allocations amounting to 53.82 billion, comprising financing from various development partners for implementing projects across 47 counties. However, the committee is concerned that the disbursement and utilization of these funds has consistently been delayed due to some county governments' failure to comply with the conditions required for the transfer of the resources. Consequently, this has undermined timely project implementation, slowed service delivery, and reduced the absorption of externally financed resources. Honorable Speaker, let me observe that there are some counties that are letting us down, where some governors are not focused on serving their people. Donors, the national government engages donors, and these donors commit resources to be spent in those counties, and programs identified. But where the counties must meet certain conditions, their governors are not there to do the same. And therefore, this is the reason why, Honorable Speaker, we have observed that there's frequent delays in absorption of these critical funds, which are supposed to help in supporting our people across the counties. Two, Honorable Speaker, conditions underpinning the access to development partners funds require counties to transfer money received from the national government to the special purpose account. However, some counties are diverting funds from their respective special purpose accounts to cover other expenditures. These actions violate the terms of the intergovernmental participation agreements. Honorable Speaker, this is also another case. And this is something which is not isolated to donor funding alone. Even in some counties, Honorable Speaker, you realize that contractors who have already finished their work and are applying and have met all the conditions to be paid, when those contractors' names are used to access funds from Nairobi, the funds are not wired to their accounts. The funds are instead given to other politically correct expenditures. Honorable Speaker, this is something which this House must ensure that governors are put to task, and we have also told senators to do their best in terms of properly oversighting governors in respect to these funds. Honorable Speaker, the other observation we've made is that the bill proposes an allocation of 3.25 billion to 13 counties for the construction of county aggregation and industrial parks. However, during the consideration of and approval of the financial year 2026-2027 budget estimates, the National Assembly redirected these funds towards equipping and operationalization of the completed but non-operational agro-processing industries in 16 counties that had previously benefited from the program. Honorable Speaker, as I mentioned, about 16 counties have already completed construction of the KIPes, but they have not been operationalized. Therefore, the people who are supposed to benefit from this program have not been able to do so. Therefore, it's in the wisdom of Parliament that these funds here, earmarked here, be directed to equipping and operationalizing of those 16 KIPes. 7, Honorable Speaker, the bill allocates 480.7 million to Meru County to settle an arbitral award. I spoke about it, Honorable Speaker, but the only issue here, Honorable Speaker, is that when we went through the estimates, we realized that we did not allocate these resources. Even though the Senate had included them in this bill, we did not have them in our estimates. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, this is an observation we wanted to put across. Therefore, we are proposing that this allocation lacks requisite budgetary provision. We are going to make recommendation, and Honorable Speaker will speak about it as well. Honorable Speaker, number 8, the bill proposes allocation of 850 million from the World Bank for the Water and Sanitation Development Program. However, the committee established that the entire allocation for the program has already been transferred to the beneficiary counties, and that the project is scheduled to close in October 2026. Consequently, no further allocation should be made to the program in this financial year. Number 9, Honorable Speaker, the committee noted that the request by the State Department for Housing and Urban Development to restructure the allocation of the Kenya Urban Support Project, urban institutional grant, by separating it into loan revenue of 684.7 million to be allocated to 45 county governments, and grant revenue of 260 million to be allocated to Garissa and Turkana counties. Honorable Speaker, the proposed restructuring is intended to align the financing of the project with the respective funding resources, reflecting the loan refinanced and grant finance components of the program. Honorable Speaker, this is very clear that we are separating the loan component and the grant component, and that the grant component will only be spent by Garissa and Turkana counties. The rest of the loan will be spent in the remaining 45 counties. Honorable Speaker, let me go through the recommendations by the committee. Honorable Speaker, having deliberated on the provisions of the bill and reviewed them against the approved budget estimates for financial year 2026-2027, the committee recommends the bill to be approved with the following amendments. One, that column D of the second schedule that provides for allocation of 3.25 billion to counties, to construction of county aggregation and industrial parks, kites, be deleted from the bill. Two, that column G of the second schedule that provides for allocation of 480.78 million for settlement of the arbitral award of Meru County government be deleted from the bill. Honorable Speaker, I think I'm clear that we do not have this in the estimate, and therefore it is untenable. It is not tenable in this bill. Number three, that column H of the third schedule that provides for 850 million from the World Bank for the Water and Sanitation Development Program be deleted from the bill because the program has come to an end. And the funds already released to counties. Number four, that column 1 and J, column I and column J of the third schedule to be amended to reflect the loan financing and grant financing components of the bill. Honorable Speaker, this bill is as simple as I have highlighted, and that we already went through this bill when we were processing when we are going through the budget processes, and especially during the first phase of the budget process, and that I'm sure most members are conversant with this bill. Therefore, I don't want to waste more time, members. Honorable Speaker, I would like, with your permission, to move and ask my able Vice Chairman, the Member of Parliament for Endebess, Honorable Dr. Pukose, to second.
Honorable Robert Pukose.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I stand to second the County Government's Additional Allocation Bill, Senate Bill number 8 of 2026. This bill, Honorable Speaker, as my chair has put it, was passed by the Senate and committed to the National Assembly. Honorable Speaker, this is a bill that after the Senate passed and transmitted to the National Assembly, this bill provides the legal framework for transferring conditional allocations from the national government and development partners to counties under Article 202 as of the Constitution and the Public Finance Management Act. Honorable Speaker, this bill transfers money from the shareable revenue of the national government, and you'll find that from the national government you have allocations of close to 16.46 billion that of the shareable revenue that is being transferred to the county governments. It is also transferring 53.82 billion from loans and grants provided by the development partners to county governments. This is in addition to the 425 billion that the 428 billion that the national government allocated to the county governments. So, Honorable Speaker, in this bill, you have allocations to the UHC workers, and this has been a very thorny issue, and the UHC workers are expecting that by this July, they should be able to be paid their money. And that is the hurry by the committee to make sure that we pass this bill so that the county governments can now be able to pay UHC workers as permanent and pensionable. Each county has a certain number of UHC workers, and those UHC workers, now that the National Assembly has passed this bill, we expect that the Senate will not have any dispute as per what we've recommended as at the committee, and that the House will agree with our recommendation so that the UHC workers can be able to get their money. Under this bill, Honorable Speaker, you've also seen that under the conditional allocation, we've given money for CHPs, community health promoters, which are shared function between both the county government and the national government, so that this money can also go to the counties. And you've seen that some of the counties have very few UHC workers, like Lamu, and you look at the amount of money they are getting is low compared with the rest. Honorable Speaker, This bill also provides money for other programs such as KIPES, such as FLOCA, which is now your FLOCA 1, FLOCA 2, and this is money that goes into climate resilience and other activities that are within the county governments. So we expect that the county governments will be able to utilize this money well, and as my chair put it, and this is an observation that has been made both by the Senate and the National Assembly, that accountability is a very important role for the county governments. They must account for the money so that they can get the next disbursement, because these are donor-funded projects. And you'll find that there are counties that have delayed in making sure that they are able to account for that money. And this is what leads to delay in disbursement. And we are hoping that the county governments will be able to perform their role, make sure that they account for this money, because this money has conditionalities, and you must be able to meet those conditionalities. Honorable Speaker, you will find that when you are debating the budget estimates, the committee had also put money to complete some of the KIPES projects within several other counties. In this also, there is also money for KIPES, so that these industrial parks can be completed in time, and it's a shared responsibility, because the national government is putting 250 million, and the county government should also put their share. But you'll find that there are some counties which occasionally they are not able to, they are putting programs that are in projects like in the KIPES, and at the end of the day, you'll find that they also withdraw that money. So this leaves those projects incomplete. So we're asking the governors that they must be able to put their part of their share into this, because it's a 50-50 sharing, and the national government has now put their conditional grant so that counties can also put their 250 million to complete those KIPES in time, to allow the citizens of those counties to be able to engage in meaningful development within these KIPES. With those few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I second.
Honorable members, I now propose the question. Order. Yes. Honorable members, I propose the question that the county government's additional allocations bill, Senate Bill number 8 of 2026, be now read a second time. The Honorable Dr. James Ombora Nyikal, MP for Seme.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support this bill. Mr. Speaker, just have a few comments to make. One, this is an extremely important means of ensuring that we actually give counties more resources that they need. And further, that it actually gives resources as needed and how they are to be applied. And so grants, loans, profits from minings that probably come after we have done other divisions, the DORA will actually be done through this. And further still, some of these funds, like the proceeds from minerals, even the grants, may not fit in the CARA, the County Allocation of Revenue Act, which normally has a fixed formula. And so if you have funds that need to go for specific activities in specific counties, then it does not accommodate them. And again, it is important that if you have things that are conditional, that the money should go for, then it should go in this, and it is easy then to monitor that. It also takes into consideration the unconditional components, which is justified, because, for example, if minerals accrue and then they go to the counties should have the right to use those resources as and when they want. And for example, the court fines, when the court fines also accrue from cases that occur in those counties, so them being unconditional is acceptable. So, Speaker, I'll just make a few comments in the health sector. One is the health, community health promoters. This is something we continue to do, and the payments are done both by the county governments and the national government. And so you have a double payment system. In the best situation, we would have actually had to do this as a single payment system with one paying. But as we know, that has not worked well. And I think we must look forward as the counties that if monies go, they should be used for what they are meant to be done, to be used. And so that in future, we may need to have the health promoters put the money in the budget and they use it all from the counties. The next one is the UHC health workers. Mr. Speaker, this is extremely important. This is actually the second year we are actually putting money for this purpose. In the first year when we did it for this purpose, it actually didn't work well because the counties felt that they wanted to be assured that this money will be available every year before they take these officers. And even now, Mr. Speaker, as we are discussing this, there is already an argument going on that the counties are insisting that they can only use this, take up these people in permanent employment if the money is assured every year, and therefore they want it in DORA. But if you do that with DORA, then the formula that they will use in CARA after they have got DORA will not be such that you take into account the specific numbers of health workers that are in various counties. So I feel concerned that we are passing this bill. It's something we have worked. The county has raised the money is there. The workers are actually already in the counties are working. Why can't we take them up? I think this country, we must find a way there where institutions do not disobey law. Because in my view, this is an act of parliament when we pass it. And anybody disobeying it is actually disobeying the law. There should be sanctions. So I would be very uncomfortable if once again this 8.6 billion does not solve the problem of UHC workers. I will appeal to the counties that this is the second time. What is the fear that this money will not be given a third time? Unless, of course, Mr. Speaker, we put it in DORA, then we'll have to revise the formula in DORA and put flexibilities that will mean that each county will then use that specific formula, which then divides it according to the workers that are in that county. And the dispute is coming because there is fear amongst the workers that if this money goes through DORA, then it will open up that the governors can use it to just employ other people and not apply it to the people that it's specifically meant for. So, Mr. Speaker, I support this bill, but I once again make an appeal to our governors that this time, let us use this money to solve the problem of UHC workers. We have talked about it for 2 years. This is the time to do it. Because if that does not happen, then we'll have to look as a country, can we amend DORA or CARA actually in particular, so that we can be using it in flexible ways and not just the formula that we now have. With that, Mr. Speaker, I support.
The Honorable Dr. Nyikal, the Honorable Dr. Makali Mulu.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to start by thanking my chairman and the vice chairman for this important bill, the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, a bill which is supposed to be providing the legal framework for additional resources to the counties after the equitable share, Honorable Speaker. These resources are in two categories. There are those which are going to come from the government, and there are those which will be coming from the donors, Honorable Speaker. For the ones coming from the donors, from the government, Honorable Speaker, we have the court fines, which are supposed to be shared to a number of counties. And then category 2 of that, we have money from the minerals, Honorable Speaker, the royalties from the minerals, Honorable Speaker. But there are also additional resources, Honorable Speaker, from the government. That is the money for the health workers and the money also, Honorable Speaker, for the KIVs. Honorable Speaker, because this bill originates from the Senate, you realize that the proposal, in the proposed bill, Honorable Speaker, there is money for construction of the KIVs. And this was provided overlooking the fact that, Honorable Speaker, that money had already been taken away at the budgeting stage, Honorable Speaker, for equipping of the already constructed KIVs, Honorable Speaker. And that means the Senate was actually allocating money, which is not the budget. And that calls for some action, Honorable Speaker, in terms of harmonizing the final budget with what the Senate is doing. That was also repeated, Honorable Speaker, where resources were provided for the compensation of a court case, court award in Meru, while the resources also in the budget were not there. And what this means, Honorable Speaker, is that you are proposing a bill to the National Assembly, and if it's passed as it is proposed, Honorable Speaker, then automatically, Honorable Speaker, it means that there will be no resources in the budget to meet that budget, Honorable Speaker. And to me, I think that's a very tricky area. And I think really the Senate needs to be keen on what is passed as a final budget by the National Assembly, because it is this House which has the final word in terms of what is the budget is, Honorable Speaker. The other thing, Honorable Speaker, which is also important to note, Honorable Speaker, is when it comes to the money from the donors, Honorable Speaker. And I must really appreciate our development partners. A lot of resources have been provided to the counties to support development in the counties, Honorable Speaker. But we have realized, Honorable Speaker, some counties, even when they get this money, they don't meet the minimum required conditions for this money to be accessible, Honorable Speaker. And what has happened is there are lots of delays. You have a lot of resources in the accounts, resources which are not being accessed. And that causes challenges in terms of implementation, Honorable Speaker, and challenges in terms of getting additional resources from the donors. So I think as a House, we need to urge the county governments that by the time they get these resources, they need to have met the preconditions which have been set by the donors, so that when this money comes, it's able to assist our people, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the other issue is the issue of the county headquarters. Honorable Speaker, having been in this House for quite some time, Honorable Speaker, I think if you look back to our budgeting process, Honorable Speaker, since 2014, this House has been allocating resources for construction of county headquarters in 6 counties, Honorable Speaker. 6 counties. And every year, we have been allocating resources, Honorable Speaker. And I would be very interested to get a report in this House telling us, where are we? 10 years after allocating resources every year, and we are still allocating more resources for these counties. I would want to urge my chairman and the vice chairman, I think it's time now we actually do physical visits of this county headquarters. Because we might be getting this money to a hole, which is a bottomless hole, Honorable Speaker. And that's why I think the issue of accountability, as Honorable Bukosa was saying, the issue of accountability at the level of our counties, Honorable Speaker, needs to be enhanced. We need to see more accountability of the resources which are going to the counties. I don't know whether the money might have been diverted to other activities, or the money might have misapplied, or the money might have got into people's pockets. And these are critical issues, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, even as this House goes out of their way to allocate more resources to the counties, I think it is important that the counties make sure that these resources are applied in line with the law. I want to thank my committee, Honorable Speaker, this time, because we are debating this bill early enough in the year. And I hope that the changes we have made, because, Honorable Speaker, as a committee, we have recommended deletion of those areas where we think there is no budget provision in the budget. Now, our hope is that the Senate will be able to agree with us so that we get this becoming an act of parliament. Otherwise, if they reject, Honorable Speaker, it means then we go to a level of mediation again. And you know how long it takes to mediate some of these bills, Honorable Speaker. And that will cause an unnecessary delay in implementation. So my appeal to the Senate is that to agree with our recommendations, have this become an act of parliament so that the counties can access these resources in good time for implementation. With those many remarks, Honorable Speaker, I support. Thank you so much.
Honorable Badibadi.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kuweza kunipatia nafasi hii ili mimi pia kuchangia katika mswada huu. Mheshimiwa Spika, huu mswada ni muhimu sana kwa sababu hii ni mojawapo ya miswada muhimu inayohusu pesa za ziada zinazoenda kwa kaunti zetu mbali na equitable share ya kawaida ambayo wanapata. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, tumeona juu ya pesa hizi kuwa inawapatia kaunti zetu kwa mahitaji yao ambayo wanashughulikia. Na mengi Mheshimiwa Spika yaliyosemwa leo, tunaona wanenaji wenzangu wamezungumzia juu ya KIPs ambazo zimetengenezwa katika kaunti mbalimbali. Na vile vile Mheshimiwa Spika, tumeona kuwa pesa hizi za juu zinasaidia katika kulipia locum kama wale madaktari wetu ambao wako katika sehemu mbalimbali, na vile vile kushughulikiana katika mambo ya climate change. Mheshimiwa Spika, fedha hizi ni muhimu kwa sababu tunaona kando na zile fedha za kawaida ni fedha ambazo zinakuja za ziada, na kuna kaunti mbalimbali ambazo zinafaidika sana na fedha kama hizi. Kwa mfano dadangu ambaye ninakaa naye hapa, Mheshimiwa Mulkhair, kule kwao Garissa County, ni pesa ambazo zinasaidia sana sana na katika pia kuona kwa naboresha maisha ya watu wetu. Mheshimiwa Spika, tukizungumzia kuhusu KIPs, tunaona kuwa ni mambo ambayo ni ya kweli, kwa sababu kule kwangu wakati ule mradi huu ulikujaanzishwa na Mheshimiwa Moses Kuria, na kusema kweli KIP kule Mombasa iko katika sehemu yangu ya Jomvu, mahali kunakoitwa Miritini, na mradi huu utaweza hasa kuona kuwa utatoa kazi nyingi sana kwa vijana. Ombi langu Mheshimiwa Spika ni kusema kuwa kaunti ya Mombasa ijaribu sana kushirikiana na mkandarasi ili kuona kuwa mradi huu usiende polepole, mradi huu uende kwa haraka, kwa sababu kiu hivi sasa iliyoko kwa vijana wetu ni kazi. Na tukiangalia katika pale ndani kutakuwa na goldowns, katika pale ndani kutakuwa na aggregation points, na pia katika pale ndani tukiangalia tutakuwa na watu ambao wakileta vitu vyao vya ukulima ikifanyiwa kitu inaitwa value addition. Na tukiangalia mambo kama haya yataweza kukuza vijana wetu, watatoka kwenye njia ya kungojea wapewe kazi Mheshimiwa Spika, na kujiajiri wenyewe kule tokamana na ile facility ya KIP ambayo iko pale. Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi leo nataka kusema kuwa nimebahatika na namshukuru Mheshimiwa Gavana Abdulswamad Sharif Nassir kuona kuwa mradi huu uko katika sehemu yangu, na vile vile katika mambo ya climate change. Nachukua wakati huu na fursa hii kumshukuru Waziri Emily kwa sababu hasa amesongamana mambo haya climate change katika sehemu yangu ya pale Jomvu Mheshimiwa Spika, na hata juzi Mheshimiwa Musa Sirma na kamati yake ya CDF walikuwa pale kwangu kuja kupanda miti. Na vile vile Mheshimiwa Spika, natangaza leo kwa World Guinness Book of Record ya kupanda mikoko simultaneously atago ilivunjwa wiki iliyopita kwa watu 5,000 ambao walikuwa kwangu pale Jomvu, na mimi mwenyewe nikishiriki katika kuvunja rekodi ile kwa mambo haya ya climate change. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Spika, nataka kusema vizuri sana ya kwa kaunti zetu kama alivyosema wenzetu Mheshimiwa Makali Muli na wengine. Makali Muli walisema kuwa accountability ni muhimu sana katika kuona mahesabu ya fedha hii, kila moja inaweza kuonekana imeweza kufanya kazi gani, kwa sababu ni donor funded hii projects ambazo wafadhili wanatupa pesa. Tusipoweza ku-account ama kuweka mahesabu yetu vizuri, pesa hizi tukiweza kuwekewa tashwishi nazo Mheshimiwa Spika, inaonekana kuwa tutaweza kuzikosa na watu wetu wataweza kosa makazi. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Spika, nataka kuunga mkono mswada huu na kusema kuwa ni muhimu sana kuona kuwa hata hizi pesa
Mheshimiwa Spika, ambao zatoka kwa donors zikija kupitia Central Bank zisicheleweshwe, zifanywe kwa haraka sana katika that transition point ya kuona kuwa hizi ziweze kwenda katika makaunti waweze kufanya mambo yao yale ambao wanahitaji. Tunaona Mheshimiwa Spika, sisi wakati wa nyuma Locam, mimi mwenyewe binafsi, kuna msichana alikuwa anaitwa Sharifa, leo ameandikwa kama daktari Jomvu Model Health Center. Tulikuwa tukimfanyia bidii akipata kazi kupitia through Locam, na wengine wengi ambao tunajivunia leo kuzungumza ni kuhusiana na hizi fedha ambazo zimeweza kusaidia mambo ya climate change. Tukiangalia maneno ya kazi mtaani, Mheshimiwa Governor Abdulswamad Sharif Nasir ajaribu kusafisha mji wetu wa Mombasa kutokamana na njia ambazo waona kuwa waekee watoto hawa pesa ambazo wataweza kulipwa ili kuonekana kuwa mji wetu uko sawasawa. Mji wa Mombasa, Mheshimiwa Spika, kusema kweli pesa hizi zatakana sichelewe, kwa sababu katika mji wetu wa Mombasa ni juzi tu delegates 6,000 wa Ocean Conference ambao walikuja kule Mombasa. Ilikuwa ni kongamano likiongozwa na Mheshimiwa Ali Hassan Joho ambaye ni waziri wetu wa madini, na vile vile likahudhuriwa na rais wetu Mheshimiwa William Samoei Ruto, na vile vile Mheshimiwa yule Mwinyi wa kule Zanzibar. Katika kuja Mombasa ilikuwa ni fahari, kwa sababu leo Mheshimiwa Spika, hata ukenda Moi International Airport VIP launch imbadilishwa kutoka wakati ule, hivi sasa inaonekana kimataifa. Ni kutokamana na hilo kongamano la watu wengi waliokuja, kuwa inaonekana Mombasa yetu inakuwa sawa. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa, kwa hayo mengi ambayo nimejaribu kusema, nataka pia mimi kuunga mkono kusema kuwa hizi fedha twawaomba donors ama wafadhili walete kwa wingi, kwa sababu kuna mambo mengi. Na hata Mheshimiwa Spika, si kaunti peke yake ambao wanafanya mambo haya. Kuna vikundi kama Big Ship, kuna vikundi kama Bidii Youth CBO ambao wana proposals nzuri sana. Hizi pesa zitoke tu kupelekwa kwa kaunti kufandi katika mambo kama haya. Ikiwa dona serikali waweza kuwasaidia hawa vijana wetu wenye idea, ni kuona kuwa mawazo yao yawe actualized ama yaweze kuwezeshwa kupitia direct kwa donors hawa, waweze kukimu katika mambo ya project zao. Kwa hayo mengi Mheshimiwa Spika, mmeshukuru Mheshimiwa Kaluma kunipa nafasi hii. Mimi Badi Twalib, kijana mwepesi, Garang Dimabiori, mzee Fula Ngenge, nikimalizia, asante, Mungu akubariki. Thank you my brother.
Asante sana Dimabiori, mzee Kula Ngenge. Honorable David Kosing.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to support the bill as moved by our able chair. And Honorable Speaker, I am also, this afternoon or this evening, I'm hearing my friend, it's called Mabior, or what is it called? Those are not Kenyan names, Honorable Speaker. Those are Sudanese names. And because I neighbor Sudan, Honorable Speaker, I can tell you the melanin of Sudanese people doesn't look like this one. This one is a fake one, Honorable Speaker, because the Sudanese are black and dark and a bit taller than Honorable Twalib. However, Honorable Speaker, we've just said earlier that we are all Kenyans, so he's also a Kenyan. Speaker, as I support this bill, I want to raise 3 issues, Honorable Speaker. The first one is about the proposal by the chair, by our Apple chair, of deleting those clauses which were in the bill that came from Senate to us, Honorable Speaker. I want to emphasize that and reiterate, Honorable Speaker, so that our colleagues in Senate can understand that this is a cleanup. And I want to support it, Honorable Speaker, as a cleanup, so that they don't also look at it, Honorable Speaker, as an amendment. Because if they see it as an amendment from ourselves, Honorable Speaker, then as a colleague said earlier, and then it will result into mediation. And you know, mediation, Honorable Speaker, will delay the money going to our people and our counties. So I want to support that, Honorable Speaker, but reiterate that our colleagues in Senate understand that this is a cleanup. There's nothing to do with maybe a deletion of what they proposed. No, it's a cleanup, Honorable Speaker. I'm saying this because, Honorable Speaker, in last Parliament, when I was chairman of transport, one of my bills, or my committee bills, ended up in mediation. And mediation, Honorable Speaker, is just like you are killing the bill, you know, unnecessary delays and so on and so forth. So my belief is that as we support this, that our colleagues in Senate understand that this is a clean-up bill, Honorable Speaker. That's point number one. Point number two, I'm very glad I saw some little money coming to my county, Honorable Speaker. That is the county of Hidden Treasure, and that is West Pokot County, Honorable Speaker. I can see some money from royalties, about 103 million is going to go to West Pokot County. Honorable Speaker, as we support the bill, of course, that means that we are supporting the transmission of that money to our county, Honorable Speaker. We want to put more emphasis. That number one, I am thinking this money is very little, particularly knowing, and everybody know in Kenya now, that West Pokot was actually a county of hidden treasure, and now it's becoming a county of minerals, county of mining. It's becoming actually the headquarters of mining, possibly this country, Honorable Speaker. So when I see some little money like 103 million is going to my county, I'm believing that, Honorable Speaker, that would be actually vice versa. What I see in Kwale, 800 million, I would want to see, as I support the chair giving this money to West Pokot, I am believing, Honorable Speaker, that as we move forward, that we get more money. And why I'm saying that, Honorable Speaker, and I want to appreciate what my county governor, Honorable Kachapin, is doing, particularly in trying to promote local artisans. Honorable Speaker, in places where we come from, you know, where everybody is thinking or was thinking that these are counties of rustlers and so on, Honorable Speaker, we are thinking, Honorable Speaker, that the future of West Pokot is mining. The future of West Pokot is mining. And people who are not going for raiding just because they like raiding, Honorable Speaker. Nobody likes raiding. I've been telling the house and these colleagues of mine who are in this house, nobody likes raiding. Maybe people are going because they don't have alternative livelihood. And education has come in to provide an alternative livelihood. Farming is also an alternative livelihood, Honorable Speaker. But when you look at places like West Pokot, which are basically dry, Honorable Speaker, then the future is mining. And that's why I'm saying, as much as I agree with the chair, maybe that was what was available. I am thinking that, Honorable Speaker, that this need to be looked at national level at where we are, so that monies like this can go to those counties which I'm saying, because I am saying, Honorable Speaker, that the future of West Pokot is mining. And therefore, the boys, we can take our boys through the artisanal mining, through local mining, Honorable Speaker, so that they leave, the few who are still available, they can also leave cattle rustling, Honorable Speaker, and find some alternative livelihood, which is our own. After all, we are a county of hidden treasure. And this hidden treasure, Honorable Speaker, is our own minerals. I am proposing that the chair, having to look at that again, maybe in future, that this money goes more in West Pokot County. And when it lands in West Pokot County, Honorable Speaker, I am of the opinion, and I want to persuade our county leadership, that this money should go to the promotion of local artisans, of local people to do what? To do mining, Honorable Speaker. Even if it is in small contribution or small works, Honorable Speaker, it is going to answer what I am trying to say, which is that we should look for an alternative livelihood of our people in those regions. What will you do? You cannot take them to farming. There's no water for farming. There's no irrigation for farming. So what happens? We want to take them to mining. And therefore, some little money like this, I want to persuade our county leadership that they should now take that opportunity to help in promotion of local artisanal miners, and particularly along the areas where, of course, we see this coal. So that, Honorable Speaker, we don't only come and watch or work for expatriates or international people who are coming to do mining, Honorable Speaker, that our people should not only be workers. I think just only being a worker, digging the ground and stones and crushing the stones, Honorable Speaker, does not give us dignity. It will give us dignity if our people are the ones doing the actual mining, Honorable Speaker, and they can sell minerals internationally. That way, Honorable Speaker, and then we will eventually, going forward, we will change the minds of the people from animal dependency, maybe to mineral dependency, Honorable Speaker. And as I said, and I want to repeat again, we take advantage that our county is county of hidden treasure. And that hidden treasure are so many, but primarily is also minerals. And what is available at the moment, of course, Honorable Speaker, is gold. The last point I want to add, as I support this bill, Honorable Speaker, is this issue of building of county headquarters. Speaker, as other members have said, I was wondering myself when the chairman was saying he's giving money to some places, some counties. I'm not saying that we don't like those counties, Honorable Speaker. But when I was chairman of transport, some of these, they used to be in my committee. And 5 years ago, Honorable Speaker, when I was there, not 5 years, now it's almost 9 years. When I was chairman of transport last parliament, we used to allocate money from my committee for building some of these headquarters. You mean you build a headquarter for 20 years? What's going on? Is that still a headquarter, Honorable Speaker? It's not. So maybe, as our colleague said, maybe, and the chair has just left out, Honorable, my variable vice chair, who is a very serious leader, Honorable Bokose, who sometimes people misunderstand for my name, Kosing. So we almost share names, you know, Bokose and Kosing are very close. But we come from close places, Honorable Speaker. He's my neighbor. So sometimes I can be misunderstood. One day I was called, I almost took his gift, but I was fair. I just say, return to Honorable Bokose. I almost took it because I respect him. That, Honorable Speaker, the committee, now that the vice chairs, visit some of these county headquarters. Do they still exist? Or now they have become conduits of people biting some public resources, Honorable Speaker? Maybe it is true. But I can remember I was chairman of transport. I used to bring that bill here, and particularly during the negotiation for budget. Those county headquarters were still there, and they're still here, and they're receiving, I've seen the bill here, they're receiving a lot of money. For what? Why don't we find something? Or why don't the counties take? And Speaker, now we are going for 15 years inside those counties. If the governor has not set that office is, whatever governor is sitting now, that should be the headquarters. We should not give money for that. We should now take the money, Honorable Speaker, to educate our children. In the universities, what the president is saying, that we give our money to our students to go to school, the colleges, the TVETs, the secondary schools. Whatever, if the governor has been sitting under a tree as headquarters for 15 years, let him sit forever there. Don't waste our money, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Bokose is listening to me, and he's getting the sense. He's almost helping me. But
Dr. Bokose is asking to inform you. Do you
absolutely, it's my namesake.
Yes, Honorable Dr. Bokose.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. You know, Honorable Gosin is the next governor for West Pokot, and I respect him. I just wanted to let him know that as a committee on budget, we've decided that we will also visit those counties that are still receiving money for building of county headquarters. So we already have a plan. We want to see, are they really constructing, or the construction stopped, and what happened? Where does the governor sit, just the way you are putting it? So we've already done a program, and we are expecting that the Speaker will approve our schedule so that we can visit those counties.
Or even better, the Honorable David Kosing. Why don't these governors visit Homa Bay County and see how county headquarters can be built within a year? The governor for CI has been doing that of late, and I hope he will implement something the other side.
So with those men, I think, Honorable Speaker, through what Honorable Bokose has said, that is seeking for your permission to visit, can I move the motion that they visit now, that you agree with that motion of Honorable Bokose that they visit? And I thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I support.
Thank you. Honorable members, let me recognize a number of students, teachers, and learners for various institutions across the country. In the Speaker's Gallery, Honorable members, you have Mastered Seed School from Mgwen constituency in Nandi County. We also have Central Comprehensive School from Saboti constituency in Trans Nzoia County. All the learners, all the teachers, and the school communities are welcome to the House of Parliament to observe proceedings and to learn. The Honorable David Gikaria, who is the chairperson of the Departmental Committee in charge of Energy and Petroleum, will now make his contributions.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to support the county government additional allocation for the year 2026-2027. Honorable Speaker, it is important for us as a National Assembly to note that as we approve this, and as Makali Muli had indicated, that we also, the Senate does not take time again, so that again we don't have disputes in this very important bill that is before us, Honorable Speaker. And it is important also to note that as we, as Parliament, try to allocate and agree with the Senate on how much should be sent to the county, Honorable Speaker, it is important also for the counties to understand and note that they should not only depend on what is coming from the national government. They need to efficiently be able to check. Honorable Speaker, I had an opportunity of being the mayor of Nakuru municipality at one time. Honorable Speaker, it was very vital for them to be able to improve, enhance on their own source revenue, Honorable Speaker. That without that, and they're only depending and sitting back, waiting for the national government to be able to allocate, then I think we will be doing a lot of injustice. Honorable Speaker, I remember when we came with you here in Parliament, Honorable Speaker, you have always been a very devoted proponent of devolution. In fact, at first we never thought devolution was of any importance or purpose. But of course, through the late Mheshimiwa, the late, may his soul rest in peace, our brother Raila Amolo Odinga, we have come to see the importance and the value of devolution and what it can do in our counties at the mashinani level. Honorable Speaker, when we talk about Nakuru County, we have seen the transformation over the last, say, 13 years or so, and what devolution has been able to do. And of course, this bill here will go a long way, not only to give over and above the equitable share, but this additional revenue will go. But Honorable Speaker, it is important for us also to understand that as we disperse this money and as we approve this and monies are sent, it is the responsibility of the respective governors to be able to accountably be able to give a feedback on how this money is spent. It is also the responsibility, Honorable Speaker, of the members of the county assembly, for them to be able to do their due diligence. Honorable Speaker, it was unfortunate a few years back that we had some monies of this nature, which was being given to our city, that it could not be able to proceed, Honorable Speaker, just because they had not done any public participation. Honorable Speaker, one of the issues that is very, very important here is the unconditional allocation that is supposed to be given. Honorable Speaker, these monies that have been given, one of them, as it is indicated under, that is subclause 5A, talks about unconditional allocation being proceeds from court fines collected from the enforcement of county legislation as set out in column B. Honorable Speaker, this is a very dangerous trend. And we also need to request our county governments to be able to be careful about this. Honorable Speaker, when the county realizes they are not collecting money enough for them to be able maybe to increase their own source revenue, now they go into that unconstitutional means of just going to say, we are going to arrest Boda today, and the fine, they go and tell the magistrate it's around, the cutoff is around 5,000, irrespective of what the law says. Honorable Speaker, this is as much as we would want to encourage money to be collected from the courts at the county level. Honorable Speaker, it is also prudent for the governors and their respective CECs in charge of enforcement and finance not to use this clause to be able to go and punish our local leaders. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, it is important, and particularly for the national government, as we collect, as indicated under subclause 5B, as we collect monies for royalties, it is important for us to send that money down to the counties. It is unfortunate that for the last, if I remember, was it Taita Taveta? I was a chair of the Environment Committee, Honorable Chair. And it was unfortunate that a lot of money was collected out of royalties from titanium in Taita Taveta, and is it Kwale, sorry. Yeah, thank you, Mheshimiwa. It was in Kwale. Only for them to be able to be given their royalties 4 or 5 years thereafter. Honorable Speaker, that is very unfair to the counties, that as we collect, we should make sure that the money that has collected from mining, as indicated by the incoming governor of West Pokot, mining is a great opportunity for counties to be able to collect royalties, which are collected by the national government and, of course, sent as per the laws, different laws as indicated on that. Honorable Speaker, for the purposes of the KIBs, I think that is something that is very important. In Nakuru, we already have one KIB in Joro, and this will go a long way in creating employment for our youth. Of course, Honorable Speaker, not forgetting health. As we are talking now, Honorable Speaker, most of these counties, their health workers are on strike. It is unfortunate that we are still, and you remember, we have been global. Should we bring this function back to the national government? But, Honorable Speaker, as we are talking, it is very unfortunate that most of these counties, but I would want to say, I once visited Tana River County when in the last parliament, Honorable Speaker, and I was so impressed by what that county was doing, because whatever was being collected in every health facility was being plowed back into that health facility for them to be able to provide the health services. And how I wish that instead of collecting monies from our health facilities and then take it to the basket of the county, and again now the money disappears and never goes back to be able to handle our. Honorable Speaker, again, it is important as we look into these monies going down, the county assemblies must make sure that there is an effective, convenient, and effective public participation that involves people in decision of what is supposed to be done, Honorable Speaker. We know most of the time, and we have seen this in the counties, monies have been set aside, Honorable Speaker, and then somewhere the supplementary budgets in our county comes and actually almost 80% changes the whole budget. And it just goes without anybody asking. So it is important that whenever this money is, public participation should be something that should be emphasized so that the public from those respective counties can be able to make their respective issues. Honorable Speaker, on matters to do with climate change. Honorable Speaker, it is real. If you now walk around this country, Honorable Speaker, it is very, very sad to see that we might be having some problems with the production of maize in this year, Honorable Speaker. So again, it is important we take into consideration about what is happening in the climate change issue. People are just taking it for granted, but it is actually affecting and the food security of this country might be affected. So it is important that the counties must take this very, very important aspect of climate change into their consideration so that we can be able to protect particularly the food security of this country. Honorable Speaker, the value chain on matters to do with agriculture, again, it is very important, Honorable Speaker, but let me finish by saying, Honorable Speaker, as indicated, monies will go depending on the feedback given by the citizen of that county and the performance indicators as to has whatever we intended to achieve, has it been achieved? And I think, Honorable Speaker, I would want to really emphasize on counties that please, whatever is given for a purpose, let it go for that purpose that is intended. With those few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I beg to support.
Get ready for a captivating continental football extravaganza. KBC Channel 1 brings you exclusive coverage of the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations, WAFCON. From Sunday the 26th of July to Sunday the 16th of August 2026. Welcome to Morocco! Morocco is the battleground as Nigeria defend their title against 15 other nations fighting to lift the prestigious trophy. Who will be crowned Queens of African Football? Courtesy of the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports. Watch all the action unraveling on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Pull up the vibe, getting feeling my flow. A girl from Woodley, ready to go.